We'll start over. And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with you here, alongside Nate Johnson, as we come to you live from Bogey Field here in Pinehurst, North Carolina. Game 2 of this best of 3-game series here in the 2024 Old North State League playoffs, as the Clayton Clovers lead the series 1-0 after a huge 11-7 comeback victory last night at East Clayton Community Park. Clovers trailed for a majority of that game. Finally would break through with 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. So a big one here tonight. If the Clovers win, they are your 2024 Old North State League champions. A win from the Sandhills Bogeys would force a winner-take-all Game 3 tomorrow night here at Bogey Field. Quickly, we'll go through the starting lineup for you. First for the Clayton Clovers. Leading things off, it'll be the shortstop, number 20, Lane McLean. Batting second, the center fielder, number 30, Garrett Moffitt. Batting third, the first baseman, number 10, Zach Chavis. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 42, Brady Nathanson. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 14, Connor Witherington. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 26, Thomas Watson. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 18, Caden Chalowski. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 28, Nate Hill. And batting ninth, it'll be the second baseman, number 0, Caleb Smith. Starting pitcher here tonight for the Sandhills Bogeys will be number 12, as it'll be Nick Duncan. So Duncan will be tasked with trying to see if he can keep this Clovers offense at bay that came alive late last night. First pitch is going to miss outside for ball. 7:07 the time of our first pitch. And so, Nate, bringing you in here, the Bronx obviously maybe key tonight for the Clovers, trying to jump on things early and get out ahead and not get behind like they did last night early on.
Absolutely. You never want to be coming from behind in a baseball game. Obviously, took a little bit of late-night magic from the Clovers last night to capture the victory from Witherington and Watson, especially in the middle of that order. But tonight, the Bogeys, obviously, with their backs against the wall, down to 1-0, and they're bringing out their best. And Nick Duncan on the mound, he's got a 2.7 ERA this season and over 33 1/3 innings pitched.
And he's going to fall behind 3-0 here to the leadoff hitter, Lane McLean, the University of Mount Olive. Lane was able to come away with a pair of singles in the game last night, including that 8th inning, scored a run.
That's what really started off in that 8th inning, that big 5-run 8th inning it is.
And here's a 4-pitch walk to start things off, as it'll be an early runner for the Clovers.
And last time we talked about, the importance of kind of some local arms. We had a Methodist University pitcher come in last night, Brandon Humphreys. We saw him giving a little scouting report on the sideline. And we've got a Bluefield State, just Bluefield University, not Bluefield State. Very different. Nick Duncan on the mound, and we have a Bluefield University man in the Clover dugout, and Jaron Woodcock.
This is true. Look at that. It's funny how all these things are entwined.
Yeah.
So that'll bring up Garrett Moffitt. Steps into the left-handed batter's box. The first pitch to him going to be a called strike on the inner half of the plate. Moffitt, a little bit of a tough night at the plate last night for the Clovers, hitting on that number 2 spot.
And he's been the guy to step up in Davey Morgan's absence, but going to need a big night from him here if the Clovers want to capture this series in just 2 games. Pitch
here will miss up and away. We'll give you a look defensively at how the Bogeys will line up around Dunlap. Deppa gets the start at first, Honeycutt at second, Petrie at short, Wolf is at third, Zambito does the catching. Through the outfield, Hall is in left, Lobo in center, Spicer in right. Dunlap delivers. And there's a called strike again right on the inner half of the plate. Not much that Moffitt really can do on the pitch in that location. Clovers trying to take advantage here of a leadoff walk just underway in the top of the first inning. Game 2 of this best of 3-game series in the Old North State League Championship. And that one going to miss off the outer half. Trying to get that late movement is Dunlap.
Real great atmosphere tonight here in the southern part of North Carolina.
I like that it's kind of enclosed a little bit.
Yeah.
Makes it a very good feel.
Homey atmosphere.
2-2 pitch coming. That one is swung on, and that one's going to be hit right down the right field line.
Just how pitches you go. You said Garrett, not much you can do with that on the inside strike, and then he shows you he can do a little bit with it.
He pulls those hands in just a little bit.
Showing off the bat speed.
Yeah. And, again, it's a spot where, hopefully he can prove me wrong. That's one.
Honestly, been a theme. Pitchers have been going inside both last night and tonight thus far.
Another 2-2 pitch. That one is swung out. It was on the outer half of the plate, taken down the left field line. Could be trouble. It's a fair ball. Lane McLean is going to have to hustle to get to third. He'll be there.
That was a real piece of hitting from Garrett Moffitt.
Wow, really nice job. A pitch on the outer. And you talked last night, obviously with a left-handed pitcher, but the Clovers really weren't doing anything with that breaking ball on the outer half of the plate. And now here with the right-handed pitcher trying to maybe attack on the bring ball that will get on the outer half of the plate.
And even a more impressive part of that is they were going inside the entire time to Moffitt. We talked about having him get his hands around, and then slows it way down, stays disciplined, stays through, goes backside for a double.
So that'll bring up Zach Chavis here with runners at second and third, nobody out. Chavis, the first baseman for the Clovers. Standing all the way back. And this left-handed batter's box. First pitch to him is going to be swung on, popped right over our heads out back to the parking lot. Nope, doesn't sound like that one got a car. So the count will be 0-1.
And for this entire playoff, really, we've talked about the importance of starting pitchers, the walk to strikeout ratio, and Nick Duncan's got a good one. It's 14 walks to 31 Ks.
I want to swing it right back up the middle. Clovers are going to get the first run of the game. They're going to hold up Moffitt at third. It's an RBI single for Zach Chavis.
Probably a smart move to hold Moffitt, but great job there by Chavis to just poke that one back up the middle. He's obviously not too obsessed there to get one out of the ballpark. We all know he's got the power to do it.
Yeah.
But if a guy's just really sitting on home run power, sometimes he can just be a little bit too focused on that.
So to put runners at the corner, still nobody out. That'll bring up Brady Nathanson. Boy, has he been the definition of clutch in these playoffs for the Clovers.
Even when he's had kind of a day where you kind of forget that he's there.
Yeah.
He comes through big last night with that huge double.
He takes a called strike one here in the outer half. Walk, double, single for the Clovers so far to start out here in the top half of the first inning.
And it just felt like the Clovers needed an extra base hit because the singles just weren't doing it for him.
Here's the pitch. That one is swung on, but that'll be fouled out of play. Almost got the light pole down the right field line. But, yeah, you're talking earlier, a really nice setting here at Bogey Field.
Not
in the campus of Sandhills Community College.
Yep, not a particularly hot night.
No?
It's cooled off. It had a little shower here before the game. And now the clouds really is making it quite pleasant.
Runners take their leads from the corners. The pitch. That one is swung on, but right at the shortstop. Everybody able to get back. So that's going to be the first out of the inning. Still well struck by Nathanson, just right at the shortstop Petrie.
Yep. That's not too dissimilar to Zach Chavis' swing, just in a little bit different of a spot.
So that's going to bring the designated hitter, Connor Witherington. We'll see if he can keep providing some big at-bats for the Clovers in this middle of the order. Talked with him, obviously, on the bus ride down. Seemed like he was ready to go, was really happy with the team's rally in the 8th inning last night.
Yes, sir. This playoff, he's 9 for 16. That's a .563 batting average.
He swings the first pitch, skies it in the infield, as waiting for it is Petrie, and he's eventually going to make the catch. So back-to-back outs, and they've both been right at Petrie.
Huge 2 outs there for Nick Duncan. I mean, if he doesn't get those two, Nathanson and Witherington obviously are both very liable to make this a 2-3-0 ball game just really early in the top of the first.
So that'll bring in Thomas Watson. He had a really nice night last night for the Clovers. Gets a second consecutive start in right field. Pitch here, that's going to break in for a called strike there from Dunlap. 2 away here. Runners at the corners for the Clovers. As they lead 1-0, an RBI single from Zach Chavis. The right-hander comes set, delivers, and that'll miss high. So the count will even up here. Again, for the Sandhills Bogeys, they are managed by Andy Fox. This is by Casey Harrell, Charles Weber III for the Clovers. They are guided by Landry Moore, assisted by Chris Power. The pitch, that one is swung on, foul straight back into the netting.
And Watson making his return appearance in the lineup today after obviously earning that spot last night after going 2 for 2 with 3 RBI, I believe it was. Hit that big double in the bottom of the 8th to really put the Clovers ahead for good. And it felt pretty decisive at that moment. And Watson got his first start last night, now getting his second consecutive one today.
And he was on base 4 out of 5 times that he came to the plate. Trying to come through here with 2 outs. Behind the count 1-2. That one is swung on. That's a bleeder out to center, but it'll be caught by Lobo, and that'll end the inning. So the Clovers maybe look poised to put up a crooked number, but a nice job by Dunlap. He gets out of it, allowing just the one run. As we'll be right back after this, we go to the bottom of the first. And for the Clovers, Dylan Smith will get ready to take them out. We'll have numbers for him on the other half of this timeout as you're watching here on the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson as we go to the bottom of the first inning. And for the Clovers, Dylan Smith going to get the start here tonight in this game 2. Nate with some numbers on him.
And while Dylan Smith has been the number 2 guy for the Clovers, that's not to say that he doesn't have the numbers to prove why he should be out here. He's got 33 1/3 innings pitched and 6 starts. He's got a 4-0 record. 20 hits given up, 8 runs, only 5 of them earned, 8 walks to 27 strikeouts with a 1.35 ERA. Just excellent numbers from the man from UNC Greensboro.
So we'll get things underway here in the bottom of the first as Angel Lobo will step in, the center fielder.
Lobo went 1 for 4 last night, scored twice and drove in a run, also had a walk.
It'll be Lobo, Hall, and Muniz for the Bogeys, trailing 1-0. As that one will get to the back here. Smith looking to try to work ahead in the count as much as he can. Also trying to control that pitch count here tonight. He's going to quickly have this one go out of play. Clovers gave it a chase as Smith and Chavis.
Smith is someone who's very capable of keeping that pitch count low, like you just talked about, Doug.
Yep.
He's had outings of 8 innings pitched and 70 pitches. He's had outings of 5 innings pitched and 50 pitches. He's very, very efficient on the mound.
So the count even here in a ball and a strike. Pitch to Lobo. There's a called strikeout on the inner half of the plate.
In general, the Clovers are just a very confident team with Dylan Smith on the mound.
And really the Clovers looking for that. Obviously, didn't get the start they were looking for last night. It was only getting 2 innings from Hugh Collins before they had to make a call to the bullpen. This one going to miss off the outer half as Hill tried to bring it back over, frame that outside corner. But obviously, we talked about after the game, yeoman's work from Brandon Humphreys last night.
Absolutely. Even with the sort of a lackluster start from Collins, Humphreys really filled in, got 9 really important outs, only gave up 1 run. And in a game where the Clovers knew they obviously had to put up a run, allowing 1 is not going to break the camel's back.
So they wanted to check the swing there of Lobo. They said he didn't go. The count's full 3-2. The pitch. That one is swung on. Hits to McLean. Gloves it. His throw-in time. Nice play by Lane McLean at short to get the first out.
Very efficient play for Lane, obviously, and that's a little harder than it looks. That kind of bounced up into his lap, and those sometimes give shortstop trouble, but not Lane at shortstop. He's very, very sure-handed over there, and he made it look easy.
So that's going to be the left fielder, Nolan Hall, batting here in the number 2 spot in the start and left field. That one is swung on, hit up the middle, gloved by McLean. The throw in time. Lane McLean flashing the leather here to start things off in the bottom of the first inning as Hall was first pitch swinging.
The 2 shortstops in this one have really showed why they're 2 of the better ones in the league. Petrie on the other side as well, both with the bat and defensively, have really Showed some really good glove work and obviously in the box as well.
So that's going to bring up the designated hitter tonight, Charlie Muniz, who we saw behind the plate last night. It's Zambito that gets the start behind the plate here tonight. First pitch going to miss. Just a bit low there.
Unfortunately for Bogey fans and Muniz himself, the night will really be remembered on that big fly out on the first pitch to Will Leonard with the base loaded down 4 on what could have been.
Pitch here going to miss off the outer half. As Dylan Smith was trying to spot that outside corner, also maybe trying to draw a swing from Muniz.
Muniz saw one he liked, that first pitch last night, but just got under it.
Pitch here, that swung on, tipped into the glove of the catcher, Hill. That'll take the count to 2 balls and a strike. 2 away here, bottom of the first inning. Clovers have a 1-0 lead. Hill will go through the signs. The 2-1 is swung on and missed, strike 2. So a good battle here so far by Dylan Smith to bring it back even. Back-to-back groundouts to the shortstop Lane McLean so far. Smith comes, set, delivers. That one fouled right back.
And if you are unfamiliar with Charlie Muniz coming into tonight, him and Caden Petrie have fueled this Bogeys offense from sort of a middle-of-the-pack start to a absolute tear.
That one swung on and missed, strike 3.
Into the championship round, but Dylan Smith says, not so fast.
Wow.
I've got something to say about that.
A really nice job by Dylan Smith. A nice, quick, efficient inning. That's what the Clovers were looking for. We'll step aside. We go to the top of the second. A 1-0 lead for Clayton. You're watching here on the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson. We go to the top of the second. Clovers a 1-0 lead. As it'll be the 7, 8, and 9 batters, Chalowski, Hill, and Smith. After an efficient inning there, 3 straight outs from the starter Dylan Smith for the Clovers.
I think it's an important inning because it will show, are the Clovers offense going to be only able to choose from the top of the order?
Play here by the second baseman. Nice play by Honeycutt.
Very close. I thought Chalowski had a chance to be called safe there.
It was a slow dribbler up the middle.
Good
it was
play
bringing
there
Honeycutt in.
by the App State Mountaineer, Hunter Honeycutt up the middle.
So that'll go down 4-3 with Honeycutt throwing across the body.
But what I was saying is I think this is a defining inning. Are the Clovers going to be able to produce from the bottom of the order? Or are they going to need McLean and Witherington and Nathanson to be guys to really fuel them from the top? And for the Bogeys, are they going to be able to rely on Duncan to get them deep throughout this game?
First pitch here, going to be in there for a strike to Nate Hill. Gets the start behind the dish here tonight for the Clovers. Last night it was Alex Levesque who got the start. The 0-1 from Nick Duncan. That one's going to miss low and outside.
And from my perspective, it seems to me that Coach Landry Moore trusts Nate Hill behind the plate more than anybody else. He's shown great blocking ability and a real ease of keeping runners where they are, and I think that's who Landry Moore's going to defensively.
The 1-1 here. Now here's a called strikeout in the inner half. That's a spot that Nick Duncan has really had control of here early on. That inside part of the plate to the left-handed batter. Going to shake off Zambito here. Now they'll come to an agreement. And that one swung on and missed, strike 3. So Hill down on strikes for the second out of the inning. First strikeout of the night for Nick Duncan. And that's going to bring up the second baseman, Caleb Smith, who the switch hitter, as we know. We're going to see from the left-handed batter's box here. We saw him kind of switch up last night.
And last night he was much better on the left side, so we'll see if that trend continues.
Duncan comes set, delivers. That one is in there for a called strike. From the left-hand side of the plate in the game last night, Smith had a single. He grounded into a double play, struck out. He was 0 for 2 from the right-handed side of the plate, a ground out to shorten a fly out. Count going to even up here, and a ball and a strike. Obviously, you talked last night. If he can find a way on base, plenty of speed, and can really help open up the running game for the Clovers.
Totally changes the lineup, speed does.
And this one will sail up in the zone. Count goes to 2-1. There's 2 away. Duncan has got a ground out to second and a strikeout. Really no breeze enough to speak of as the flag in straightaway center standing straight down. The 2-1. That one is swung on, fouled out of play. Third base side. And the count evens up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So can Nick Duncan answer with a 1-2-3 frame? The right-hander will come set. He is offering. And that one's fouled off. Caleb Smith just finding a piece of it. Definitely wasn't the most confident swing, but a defensive swing. You get another
Absolutely.
look here.
And Duncan so far has shown a really good curveball that he's really aiming for the outside part of that plate, and obviously he's lived inside on the fastball, so those 2 pitch dynamics have worked well for him thus far.
The 2-2 is swung at. Yes, it's in the dirt. The throw down to first is going to be in time. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Nick Duncan. He answers with a 1-2-3 frame. And we are going to head to the bottom of the second here at Bogey Field. Clovers leading 1-0 game 2 with this best-of-3 game championship series in the Old North State League. A win from the Clovers gives them the title. A win from the Bogeys forces a game 3 tomorrow night. We'll step aside. You're watching Clayton Clovers baseball here on the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson as we go to the bottom of the second here at Bogey Field. Yes, it's a 1-0 lead for the Clayton Clovers here in this second game of this best-of-3 game series here in this Old North State League Championship. As the Clovers won last night at home, 11-7. Unfortunately, it was the last home game this year at East Clayton Community Park. Finished up a great run at home from the Clovers. Dropped just 2 games all season at home. As the first pitch here from Dylan Smith, going to miss outside. He'll face the 4, 5, and 6 batters, Honeycutt, Petrie, and Zambito. One 0 on its way, and that one is swung on, fouled. Out of play over top of the Clovers dugout. Third base side, even the count up.
Same exact starting 9 that we saw last night for the Bogeys. Honeycutt himself went 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI. Also reached base the 3rd time via the walk.
The 1-1. And he'll try to bring that back in. Not able to get the calls. The count will go to 2-1. It was a pair of groundouts to short and a strikeout for Dylan Smith in the bottom of the first. His pitch here is swung on. That one taken down the left field line, giving chase is Nathanson. Can he make the catch? And he's able to make the catch. Brady Nathanson flashing the leather.
Up along the fence. Great job by Nathanson to make that play. Easy first out for Dylan Smith.
So that will retire Honeycutt. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Caden Petrie. So Petrie will get set here in the right-handed batter's box.
And Petrie's been the toughest out in the Old North State League during this playoff. Couple of series thus far. He's 12 for 22 at the plate during the playoffs.
As he swings here, fouls the first pitch in the inning. Had a solo home run last night in the 7th inning. It was a leadoff home run. That was unfortunately against Sam Bespoyazzi. He tried to come back out for 2nd inning relief.
Honestly, from my perspective, I'm just a little bit surprised that he's still in the 5 hole.
Yeah.
Being this hot.
There's a swing and a miss. Good fastball from Dylan Smith. The count, no balls, 2 strikes. 1 away. Here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Hill goes for the signs, the offering, and that one is swung on, taken down the right field line. Definitely foul, could be trouble. That's going to drop. Yes, it'll be a long foul ball. For the Sandhills Bogeys, they are coming into this game 28-16 on the season. For the Clovers, 38-3.
Obviously, the Clovers favored in this one in this series, but the Bogeys really put up a really good fight last night, I think.
This one swung on, and that one fouled off. So, Caden Petrie doing a good job here. We have the first batter that we've seen work account against Dylan Smith.
I think the Bogeys just put a proper enough scare into the Clovers to come into today with sort of a better approach to this game. Like, this is a team to be taken seriously.
Yep. Count still 0-2. The pitch. That's outside. So the count 1-2. The right-hander comes set, delivers. That one swung at and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout for Dylan Smith.
Dylan Smith has done an awesome job of getting ahead of batters and then unleashing the breaking ball on that outside corner. It's just it's a ball or two off the outside edge of the plate, but he's really only used it after he's gotten ahead of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
He's not used it to get ahead.
Correct. And you've talked about you've talked about this. Landry Moore's talked about this a lot. When Dylan Smith goes out there, he has a clear set approach of how he wants to approach each batter, how he wants to approach his start, and that's something you just don't have to worry about what's going through his mind.
He's a very professional pitcher, and a professional pitcher in the summer league level is just going to be really hard to combat.
So pitch here missed just off the outer half. As it'll be Josh Zambito, the catcher. We saw him in the DH spot last night. He was on base once, worked a walk in the 7th inning. This one is swung on. Gave that a good piece. This is tailing, and that's going to drop. As it was a little bit too far for Lane McLean and not far enough for Moffitt to try to get to it. So that's going to be a 2-out single for Josh Zambito.
It's going to be his first hit of the series. He's now 1 for 5 over the last 2 games.
First hit, first base run of the game for the Bogeys. Retires a string of 5 consecutive batters retired by Dylan Smith to start this game. So that'll bring up the third baseman, Garrett Wolf. He had the big swing early on last night for the Bogeys, a 3-run shot in the 2nd inning. Facing Dylan Smith. Pitch here, that one breaks nicely on the outer half.
And last night I couldn't really find myself to stop talking about how much of a surprise Garrett Wolf was because he came into tonight. You know, I looked at his numbers on the year. He's got 16 at-bats. Okay, I'm not expecting a whole lot from this guy. And then he blasted a 3-run home run to start the ball game.
Took it to left field. And this one going to miss low. So the count will leave it up, ball and a strike. 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Runner at first after the 2-out single from Josh Zambito. Smith delivers. That one is swung on. That'll get back out to the parking lot. So the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. The offering here from Smith. That one came up and in. Good pitch there to kind of change the eye level of Garrett Wolf. So that'll even the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We play here in the bottom of the second inning. Smith's offering. Strike 3 called on the outer half of the plate.
Dylan Smith. Some great spots this past inning. Dylan Smith's locked in. He wants that championship tonight.
So his 3rd strikeout, first looking as the Bogeys are going to strand a 2-out single from Zambito. And we will head to the top of the 3rd. It's a 1-0 lead for the Clovers. We'll be right back. You're watching Clayton Clovers Baseball here on the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. And we go to the top of the 3rd inning here in Game 2 of this best-of-3 game championship series, Old North State League action between the Clayton Clovers and the Sandhills Bogeys. As it'll be the top of the order for the Clovers, Lane McLean, Garrett Moffitt, Zach Chavis, against the starter Nick Duncan.
So obviously the top of the order last time up had great success against Nick Duncan. We'll see if they can do it again or if Duncan shuts them down this time.
Clovers now getting their second looks here. First pitch, going to miss inside. A little bit of late run on that offering.
Duncan started McLean 3-0 his first time, did he not?
He did. It was actually a 4-pitch walk.
Oh, yeah, that's correct.
Yep, did not get one in the zone.
That's correct.
So we'll see what Lane has the second time around. The 1-0. That one is swung on. Hit to the shortstop, Petrie. The throw up the line just a little bit, but no problem for Depa. And there's the first out, 6-3.
Stop hitting him to Caden Petrie. He's not been making errors.
No. Did have a chance to go back and watch that play last night that was hit to him up the middle late in the game. Yeah, I definitely think it was under the glove. I originally first thought it nicked off his glove, kind of zoomed it in on the good old phone on YouTube there, and definitely think I have to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that ever touched his glove. At first, I definitely thought it did, and that's what kind of slowed it down and ricocheted, but I think he didn't get a piece of it, so definitely think that that one was not on him. And originally I was thinking that he kind of booted it, but got to give credit where credit's due. Don't think that was on him.
I'd like to have a very close zoom in
on
the ball to the second baseman where he threw it to Petrie, and then it was real safe.
So the count here will be a ball and a strike. Yeah, that was a very close bingo.
Even I was saying that I thought he was out. I
was already getting ready to write the out down to my book, and then as I was peeking off to the right, saw the umpire make the safe call.
Mm-hmm.
Count a ball and a strike here. That one is swung on, fouled out of play by Moffitt. Again, that one coming in on the hands. So the count 1-2, one away. It was a double from Moffitt. A breaking ball that was on the outer half of the plate. He took the other way and blooped it into left field.
I'd also like to recognize Garrett Moffitt, the all-time Clayton Clovers leader in single-season doubles.
There we go. Yes, he's going to do a very nice job to watch this one miss low.
Davey did his best to come back and tie him. And then with that last one, Garrett says, okay, Davey, you're on the IR. I'm going to take that as my opportunity to have the number one sole possession of the first place spot.
So that will be for the taking next year. Somebody wants to try to rival that. Pitch here swung at and missed for strike 3. So Moffitt down on strikes.
Nick Duncan's found a little groove here after obviously giving up the early walk and then 2 base hits by Moffitt and Chavis.
He's retired 8 in a row. And that'll bring up Chavis, who had the RBI single. That's where the base is empty, 2 away. Here in the top of the 3rd inning.
So it's looking like Duncan could go deep in this one. And that would provide quite an entertaining situation with looking like Dylan Smith doing the same.
First pitch, that one going to miss outside. Just came out of the hand there of Duncan. A little early release point. Yeah, it was the RBI single from Chavis. Since then, a couple of ground outs, 3 strikeouts for Duncan.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten it out to that point, though.
Correct. Yeah, it was the first 3 batters of the game. Walk, double, single. Strike called here.
Looks like he just needed a couple more warm-up pitches, and he would have had a little better start.
Zambito will go through the sides behind the plate. Now 1-1 taken to right field. And that one's going to be caught by Spicer. And it's a second straight 1-2-3 inning for Nick Duncan and the Sandhills Bogeys. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's still 1-0 lead for the Clayton Clovers. You're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. We get to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and for the Bogeys, it'll be their 8, 9, and 1 batters to come up and face the starter Dylan Smith for the Clayton Clovers. As he has allowed 1 hit to this point. It was a 2-out single from Josh Zambito there in the bottom of the 2nd inning. So that'll bring up Dominic Deppa, as it'll be Deppa, Spicer, and then back to Lobo. Righty-lefty matchup here. The pitch, that one is swung at and missed. Depa defensively last night, he was part of a really big rally killer early in the game. He was part of that 3-2-3 inning-ending double play with Caleb Smith at the plate. And this one going to miss just off the outer half.
At the plate, Depa went over 3 last night with 2 walks, so did reach a couple times, but did not collect himself a hit.
He's even in the count here. That one swung at and missed for strike 2. Those walks for Depa were late in the game, one in the 5th inning, and then he walked in the 9th. He also reached on a fielder's choice in the 7th inning. And he fouls this one out of play, third base side.
Smith's been working away this entire at-bat. Let's see if he goes back maybe inside here.
It is right up on that chalk line with that front foot as Depa. Standing all the way in the back in the left-hand batter's box. The pitch, that one is swung on and fouled back. Finley Spicer, the right fielder for the Bogeys, awaits in the on-deck circle. The offering here is swung at and missed, strike 3.
And Dylan Smith likes the outside corner tonight. Just something about it. He's been working it. Fastball, breaking ball, changeup, everything. And it's been working thus far.
So the 4th strikeout for Dylan Smith. And that'll bring up Finley Spicer.
And Smith's not even a pitcher that's going to totally live and die on the fastball. Only had 27 coming into tonight in 33 innings pitched. So just around average, maybe slightly below average, but already with 4 here tonight.
Swung on. That's going to be a first pitch single through the left side. Takes it into left field. Second hit of the night for the Bogeys.
And I believe Spicer singled last night, his first at-bat as well. It might have also been on the first pitch from Hugh Collins.
It might have been, and then he would later go on to steal second.
Yeah,
and came around to score on that single by Charlie Muniz.
Yep. Spicer, when you're getting production out of your 9-hole like Spicer did early in that game, it's just a really good sign for the Bogeys.
So that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, as it'll be Angel Lobo. Throw here to check on the runner Spicer. They clearly know about his speed. As he was back safely. A little bit of sun trying to peek out here off to our right.
Finley Spicer 6 for 7 on the season, stolen bases.
Pitch there is going to miss, low and away.
Just off the corner of the plate. That's been the pitch that Dylan Smith's get batters to reach at all night on that little breaking ball, just a ball off the edge.
So the Bogeys again now seeing their second trip to the lineup. Time was called there. As the wait for the bat somehow it made its way out beyond the first base coach's box there for
How
the
does that
Bogeys.
happen?
I don't know. It was just sitting there, too. It wasn't like it had just got there. And clearly it had been there the whole at-bat here for Lobo.
I thought somebody swung it and fell off. I was like, I think that's designed to not happen.
Here's the pitch. That one's going to break in there. So the count will leave it up, a ball and a strike. Dylan Smith using that pitch to get back into a count. Here early on, a quick throw over, no tag applied. Just a good show there to let Spicer know that Smith is definitely thinking about him over there. He'll go through the signs. The 1-1. That one is swung on, hit to McLean, tosses to second. Smith to turn to first, and that is in time.
Wow.
Inning-ending double play.
Caleb Smith turns his first double play of the season. He's had a lot of time at center field, not a whole lot at second base. Well, he'd like some more at second base. That was a greatly turned double play. A little bit in the dirt, but Zach Chavis helped him out.
So it goes 6-4-3 as the Clovers turn a double play. That'll send us to the top of the 4th. Clovers hold on to their 1-0 lead here against the Sandhills Bogeys. As we'll step aside, you're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson as we come to you in the top of the fourth inning here from Pinehurst, North Carolina. Game 2 of this best-of-3 game Old North State League Championship Series between the Sandhills Bogeys and the Clayton Clovers. As we get set here for the 4, 5, and 6 batters, as it'll be Brady Nathanson, Connor Witherington, Thomas Watson against the starter Nick Duncan.
I'd love to interview Jeff Garner right now. I wish we had a third mic.
I know, I kind of wish I did too. As Jeff Garner, our P announcer from East Clinton Community Park, has come to sit right next to us here. As broadcasting from the stands here tonight. And the first pitch going to miss inside here to Brady Nathanson.
Obviously, that double play that ended the last half inning. Kayla Smith, I talked about it being his first, but that's Lane McLean's 20th and Zach McLean's 19th of the season.
And the breaking ball here right at the shortstop, Petrie.
He's done that twice.
Yep. He has the magnet here tonight so far, and it's been Nathanson both times, and he sent it down the line. So with one away, that'll bring up Connor Witherington. Like to really see a good at-bat from him here. He was first pitch swinging last time. Sky went high in the air. That was caught by Petrie.
I think that was just a little bit riding the wave of last night. Oh, I'm feeling good. Wanted to get that first one out of here maybe, and didn't pay off for him.
So we'll see how matchup number 2 between Duncan and Witherington will go. Here's the pitch. That one is swung on, chopped foul down the third base line. We saw the Clovers pick on that third base line in the bottom of the 8th inning last night.
That was Connor, indeed. Hit it right over the third base bag.
Led to 2-run scoring.
That was his third hit of the night, I believe.
Well, let's go back and look. I believe you are correct about that.
He had 3. Thomas had 2.
Yep, that was his third single of the night.
I think the Clovers only had 9 hits, and that's important because the Bogeys had 11. And
yep.
Oh,
boy, that was a laser.
Right off the brick wall.
That was right off the brick wall and just to the left of Thomas Watson.
But the Clovers have only been out-hit this season 5 times in 40 games. 41 now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 42nd. They've only been out-hit 5 times. That's just quite a remarkable number.
That definitely is. And
one of them being last night in a win.
Yeah. And this one is going to be behind, I believe, the other one. Just a couple nights before that was a win, the game against Lexington at home. I do believe Lexington out-hit us.
There was also a situation I know early in the year where we were out-hit by the Clinton Royals, but the Clinton Royals walked 15 batters, so it really didn't matter how many hits we had.
Yeah.
So there's just weird games like that, and then a game like last night in a comeback fashion.
And that one swung on and missed by Witherington, so he's down on strikes. So there's 2 away. Here for Nick Duncan in the top of the 4th inning. Thomas Watson will step in now. So Duncan is settled in nicely. In a rhythm here for the Bogeys. Watson flat out to the center fielder Lobo his last time up. That one is skied high in the air. Calling for it is Honeycutt. He'll make the catch, and that will end the inning. 3 straight 1-2-3 innings for Nick Duncan and the Bogeys. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. As it's still 1-0 score for the Clayton Clovers. As we'll be right back as you're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. As we've really turned into a pitcher's duel here at Bogey Field between the Clovers and the Bogeys, as Dylan Smith is back out here for the Clovers, as he will face the 2, 3, and 4 batters, as Nolan Hull will step in. Got that big 6-4-3 inning-ending double play to get out of the bottom of the third. Showing bunt there and taking a strike is Hull.
Both pitchers obviously have been excellent, just like you talked about, Doug. Dylan, 40 pitches through 3 innings, and then Nick Duncan through
Very
4
nice.
already. He's already at 48.
Okay, very nice for both pitchers.
Very efficient.
Kind of leave it up here to ball and a strike.
What did we talk about last night? A more defensive, pitching-oriented game. We thought sided with the Clovers, so we'll see if that comes to fruition.
The 1-1. That one swung on right back, and that was over the top of the glove of Dylan Smith. He tried to rein that one in, but couldn't.
I think that made contact with his glove, actually.
So
Just barely getting over the top of it.
it'll be a leadoff single for Nolan Hull. Again, jumped all over that offering. Third hit of the game for the Bogeys, all singles. That'll bring up Charlie Muniz. Struck out his first time up against Dylan Smith.
That's Hull's 6th hit this postseason.
Put some very good speed on the bases. They throw over. Back safely is Hull. Hill will go through the signs here. The pitch. That one is swung on. That one taken out to center. And that one's at the fence. And that one is out of here. A 2-run shot for Charlie Muniz. And there he strikes to give the Bogeys a 2-1 lead.
Man, it's tough to stop this kid. That's his 11th hit, 5th home run of the postseason.
Yeah.
Just on the hot streak of a lifetime, and it's propelling the Bogeys into the lead here in Game 2 of the championship round.
So the leadoff single from Hull, and then the 2-run shot from Muniz out to left center.
I mean, he had a good regular season. Don't get me wrong.
Correct.
Batting .340, that was 33 for 97 at the plate. But during the regular season, 6 home runs, which is a really good margin, same as Zach Chavis has. But, not particularly I'm going to hit a home run every game.
Correct.
But at this point, he's almost, I'm going to hit a home run every game.
So that'll bring up Hunter Honeycutt. He'll take a strike here. So that is the 3rd home run of the series for the Bogeys. 2 last night. And that one is swung, and that's going to be fouled off. So the count will be 0-2. So the Bogeys get to Dylan Smith here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As we're here in the middle of the order now, Honeycutt, the number 4 batter. Smith comes set, delivers. That one is swung on, and that's going to be into center field. So the Bogeys are finding some momentum here. 3 straight hits.
And 3 barrels.
Yep.
So Dylan Smith looking to kind of stop the bleeding here. All 3 of those have been very solid swings right back up the middle. Obviously, one got over the fence. But the Bogeys seeming to see Smith a little bit here. Maybe he's just leaking the ball over the plate a little bit. I'm not sure. We'll see. Muniz obviously with that huge home run. But the other guy that's been propelling their offense mainly is this guy right here, Caden Petrie.
So Petrie will step in. He struck out his first time up. Now we're going to get a visit here from Landry Moore. And
they send Richie Palters down there to throw.
Yep.
So we'll see how fast Richie gets warm. Dylan, obviously, like we said, really good pitch count thus far. Has, I think, a lot left of juice in him if he can get out of this inning.
So single, a 2-run home run, and another single. And Landry Moore makes his first trip of the night out of the Clovers dugout. As it was momentum early for the Clovers, then we got logged into pitcher's duel. Now the Bogeys with the momentum here in front of their home crowd. Game 2 of this best of 3 game series. As making his way back behind the plate will be Hill here as the conference is over. Honeycutt, the runner at first. Smith will come set. delivers, and he spikes this one. It gets away, and that's going to advance the runner Honeycutt into scoring position.
Good block by Nate Hill, but obviously just had a little bit too much velocity and force on it. Kicked away from him. Couldn't prevent it from being a wild pitch.
So that'll put the count to 1-0.
This is now turned an even more important at bat here for Petrie with a runner in scoring position and nobody out.
Smith will come set and delivers. That one swung on fouled right towards the Clovers dugout, as that'll even the count up. As the umpire in the field there asking the Clovers to get more into their dugout.
It's hard to fit 40 guys in a dugout.
It is.
Especially the dugouts of the Old North State League size.
Definitely not plentiful. The pitch, that one's low in the dirt.
And there's not a bullpen here at Bogey Field, so there's nowhere to put all the pitchers either.
Correct. There's a bench down the line, but
I don't know if there's a bench.
It's on the other side of the fence.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a bench down there. Here's the 2-1, and then looking back maybe for a throw there was
good move by Smith, but Caleb Smith was not there.
Correct.
No one to make the throw to, but Dylan did have his man.
Here's the pitch. That one is low.
Can't quite get Petrie to offer that one. A good job of missing there by Dylan Smith. Obviously very close to the zone, but doesn't quite get Caden to chase. Now 3-1, he's got to go in the zone.
As Hill will go through the signs. Honeycutt leads off second. And time going to be asked for here by the batter, Petrie. Now Dylan Smith will come set. He delivers, and that's going to be low, ball 4. So that's going to put a couple of runners on. Things quickly unraveling here for the Clovers in this bottom of the 4th inning. 4 straight batters that have reached.
Now Zambito's the man who had the first hit of the game against Dylan Smith, and now his second time up. Smith needs an out really badly.
Runners at first and second. 2 runs are in. Here's the pitch, and that one fouled off first base side. A little bit of a late start there for Zambito. Two singles, a home run, and a walk here in this bottom of the 4th inning.
And the Clovers, I don't think, want to go to their bullpen this early. They really would like Smith to get out of this inning as quickly as possible.
His pitch here. That one is swung on. Hit to third. Throw to second. The out is made there. Is the out made to first? It is! A double play. Around the horn, 5-4-3.
That seemed like a very improbable double play because of how far Caden Chalowski had to move to his left to grab that ball. And then the transfer to Caleb Smith was nice, and Smith gets his second double play in as many innings. Transfer over to Zach Chavis, and that's huge. That doesn't even get him out of the inning. There was no outs.
Correct.
But it does obviously take away the sac fly with a runner on third now. And Dylan Smith just one pitch away here from getting out of this inning.
So that brings up Garrett Wolf. Runner at third is Hunter Honeycutt. Pitch here is going to miss high. Wolf struck out looking to end the second inning. 2-1 is the score in favor of Sandhills. The 1-0. That one is swung on. That one's past the glove of the third baseman, Chalowski, and that's going to score a run. And the throw in, and that's going to make it 3-1. As Garrett Wolf picks up another RBI.
Garrett Wolf's been huge. A guy that just wasn't used a whole lot in the regular season and has just really, really been a huge part of this Bogey offense.
And boy, Chalowski almost was able to get some leather more leather on that to bring it into the glove.
You should be impressed if you can hit it past the 6'5" Chalowski. He's got a big range.
And the first pitch here is going to miss for a ball to Dominic Deppa. He struck out swinging his first time up. That started off the third inning. 2 away here. The pitch, that one is fouled back into the netting. So 3-1 the score. You're in favor of the Bogeys. They've sent 7 batters to the plate here. Leading at first is Wolf. Smith delivers. That's in there for a called strike 2. Looking to try to get out of this and bring the Clovers offense back to the plate. The 2-strike offering is low and away. Count will even up here. 4 strikeouts so far for Dylan Smith. Can he find number 5? The 2-2 pitch is swung on. That one's taken out to left, and Nathanson will be there to make the catch. So the Clovers get out of it, but they do surrender the lead as they're going to give up 3 runs, fueled mainly by the 2-run home run off the bat of Charlie Muniz. As we go to the 5th inning here in Game 2 of this best-of-3 game championship series between the Clayton Clovers and the Sandhills Bogeys, as you're watching on the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson as we go to the top of the 5th. And the Sandhills Bogeys, they have rallied to take a 3-1 lead, thanks in large part to a 2-run shot from Charlie Muniz, who's now homered in each of the 3 series here in this 2024 Old North State League tournament. And for the Clovers here in the top of the 5th, it's going to be their 7, 8, and 9 batters to face the starter, Nick Duncan. He's retired 12 in a row after allowing an RBI single to Zach Chavis, the 3rd batter of the game, back in the top of the 1st inning. As the Clovers going to look to get going. Just 1 hit to this point. Chalowski swings the first pitch he sees, grounds it to second. The underhand tossed in time. 1 pitch, 1 out.
If you're a Clover fan, that last inning could have been worse. You gave up the lead and you gave up 3 runs. But because of that double play, it was ended a whole lot faster than it could have been.
Yes.
So you have to kind of approach this now with a more positive attitude of, okay, I have to make Nick Duncan, it's Nick, right?
Yes.
Nick throw more pitches. He's thrown 49 pitches and got 13 outs. You have to make him throw more pitches. You have to make him work harder and get him out of this game quicker because, like you said, he's retired now 13 batters in a row.
Yep. So that'll bring in Nate Hill. He struck out his first time up. Swings the first pitch, gives that a ride to right field. Is that one out of here? That is a solo shot for Nate Hill.
What a time for your first home run of the year, young man.
Touch 'em all, Nate Hill.
The Toledo Rocket goes yard. Wow.
We're going to get to use the home run graphic.
Huh.
As
they call that Maction, don't they?
Yeah, right?
Nate Hill.
Yeah.
What a swing.
So
I just talked about make him throw more pitches. He's like, no, I like that first one. That first one, that's the one I like.
Yeah. So Nate Hill, for the first time this year, will get the home run belt for the time being. So maybe that can spark things. So it's 13 in a row, retired by Nick Duncan.
And I just know that Nate Hill's dealt with some frustrations at the plate this year. He's got an average of 259 coming into tonight. So he's not had the season he's wanted to. And I've heard him express frustrations of, man, I play at the Division I level. I should really have a higher batting average. But obviously getting to knock some frustrations out on that ball as he makes it a 3-2 ball game.
And that was a pure swing. That's going to bring up Caleb Smith. As that one will be swung on and missed for strike one. So the score now 3-2. With one away. Smith, the number 9 batter. That one going to miss low. Lane McLean, top of the order, waiting in the index circle.
Did that loud disruption just kind of shake the confidence of Nick Duncan here?
Obviously
missed twice. We'll see.
And the pitch there, that's going to be in for a called strike. Inner half, low in the portion of the strike zone. Caleb Smith struck out, and then was put out 2-3. The offering, that one just misses off the outer half. Big tick there for Caleb Smith, but feeling comfortable with his zone. Feeling that was just out a bit of his reach. Duncan will come set. The right-hander delivers. And that one's waved at and missed. So a strikeout for Duncan. Huge response after the home run. There's 2 away.
That is now because the top of the order comes up with 1 out. Or, excuse me, with 2 outs.
Correct.
Shaden Shalowski led off with a ground ball out. But if Caleb Smith could have reached there, a runner on with McLean at the plate does sort of change things. Obviously, McLean being a pretty potent bat.
So McLean steps in, has walked, scored a run, grounded out to short. And he'll take this one inside. We'd love to see the veteran presence of Elaine McLean to try to keep this inning going here with 2 outs. Let this top of the order go to work here against Nick Duncan. That one came inside as he had to turn the shoulder out of the way. McLean, a batter I feel like hasn't been hit all that much this season.
No, but he's been to the plate so many times.
That's also true.
That hit by pitch number is probably higher than you expect.
Here's the offering, and that's going to be a called strike on the outer half.
Lane McLean on the season has 6 hit by pitches. When you lead the team in plate appearances by like 40, that's what happens.
That one's going to miss. And the count will go to 3-1 here against Lane McLean. As he tries to extend this inning here with the bases empty, 2 away in the top of the 5th. The 3-1. That's called strike 2.
It was called strike 3. That was the strike 3 motion. I saw that.
Blue trying to ring up Lane McLean here with only 2 strikes. So the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch, and that's in the dirt, and that's ball 4.
I'm very confident
that's ball 4. So after a long discussion there between the three umpires, we've determined that it was indeed ball 4 to Lane McLean.
We've now had 2 consecutive playoff series where the umpires have had to have a conference to discuss basic rules, it seems.
Yeah. Unfortunate spot, too. Like I said, with playoffs, obviously trying to give the players their best experience, playoff baseball, and we know that this obviously is a chance for the umpires to develop, too, along with the players, but just you get to this point, you've played through a long summer.
These are not Major League umpires?
Correct, you're right. But you just kind of get to that point of where you feel like maybe we could evaluate these guys and kind of get that top-notch crew in here throughout the season.
You'd think. I'm not sure umpiring at this level works that way, though.
Yeah. So the count here will be 1-0 to Garrett Moffitt. Moffitt had a double back in the first inning. He struck out in the third. And he takes that one for a ball.
I'd love to see another double.
Yeah, I would perfectly be okay with that, especially with Lane McLean on.
Oh, yeah.
Might have a chance, depending on where it goes, maybe to get that wave around third. And there's that fastball in the inner half of the plate that Nick Duncan has done so well all night.
And I know Landry Moore is not thinking about this at this point in the game, but I'm thinking about it. I personally would feel a little bit of a regret of holding Garrett Moffitt at third on that Zach Chavis single. Could have been the third run at this point.
True. That one going to be too far inside. Really the first time we've seen Nick Duncan miss that far in, trying to frame that inner half to the left-handed batter.
I'd like to know if Nick Duncan is always working the inside of the plate this much, because it's kind of impressive if obviously retiring the 13 batters in a row, if he can keep this up all night.
Here's the 3-1. That one is swung on, but too far out in front of it.
That's what happens when you work inside all night. Eventually, guys like Nate Hill, guys like Garrett Moffitt, I know that one was foul.
Yeah.
But they will figure out, if I just get my hands around, I'm going to hit it a long ways.
Correct. It's one of those things that's definitely something to keep in the back of your head.
Especially in a lineup with so many potent lefties. Moffitt, one of them. Just saw Hill. Chavis is coming up next.
And the count, full 3-2. That's outside, ball 4. Back-to-back 2-out walks issued by Nick Duncan.
Great job by Moffitt just getting on base. That's what Davey Morgan would do, especially considering the guy you got up now.
And we're going to get a visit here. Do we get a pitching change? Or is this just a visit from Andy Fox to have a chat with his pitcher like we saw Landry Moore do?
Nick Duncan is the guy for the bogey, so I'd be a little bit surprised if they took him out this early, just facing a little bit of pressure. But I was wrong last night when I said they were not going to take out Issei.
True. But it looks like you are right here, as this is just going to be a chat in here out on the mound.
I can't see the Bogeys bullpen, so I don't know if there's anyone down there.
I can just barely see the pitching mound. And if there's somebody on the right-hand side, I could just barely see them. If there was somebody warming up on the left pitching rubber down there, I'd definitely be able to see him. But now that I look down there, I do not see anybody.
Yeah, this is Nick Duncan's game.
So he's going to try to see what he can do here after giving a back-to-back 2-out walks.
From everything the statistics show and my research on him, it seems like Nick Duncan is their guy, and they are very confident in him.
So Zach Chavis will step in. Has an RBI single on the night. He is flying out to right. Clovers trail 3-2. They have 2 runners on, 2 away. Duncan comes set. Couple looks back to second. Delivers. That one is going to be fouled in the box by Chavis.
A little bit upstairs there to Chavis. Chavis, the guy you don't want to leave something over the inside half to.
We saw him a couple times last night, a little free swinging on pitches that were well up and in to him.
Yeah, I think that last night it was slightly in the problematic direction.
Correct.
Because I think he was a little bit overzealous to get a ball out of the park in his last night at East Clayton.
Pitch here, that's going to miss outside.
I think that was a ball off. I think that was a good call.
So Chavis will see the count.
But you do see as soon as umpires, show a little bit of chink in the armor, they didn't exactly know what count it was.
Yep.
Then the fans are like, wait, does this guy really know what he's doing?
Just opens up the gates for the fans to jump on him. The 1-1. That's inside. And the count now 2-1. Now they're going to get the bullpen activated as they get a player to run down. Brady Nathanson in the on-deck circle if he can find his way up. 2-1 on its way. That one is swung on, skied in the air. Is it going to stay in play? It will not.
Just barely got out of here.
So another chance for Zach Chavis as the count leaving up 2 balls, 2 strikes. As that was Zambito went all the way to the netting. It's kind of tough with this netting, too. There's a lot of give in this netting, so he was trying to lean into it a little bit.
Get it to fall inside,
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, that's exactly what he was doing.
So the count even 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here, top of the 5th inning. 2 runners on for the Clovers. Duncan comes set, delivers. That's going to be poked at.
What are you swinging at?
So instead of sending the count full 3-2, the count's going to hold.
Well up and out. Could have easily been 3-2.
So Nick Duncan has surrendered a second run of the game, but he's looking to try to keep it at just that. Clovers looking for more. They trail by a run. Here comes the 2-2 again. That one is swung on and into the glove of the first baseman, Depa, as it was going to be in foul territory.
2 consecutive innings for both sides that could have been way worse than they were.
So that will bring an end to the top of the 5th. Clovers trim it to a run deficit. It's 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Here from Pinehurst, North Carolina, Game 2 of this best of 3-game championship series. We'll send this one aside as you're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson as we get set to go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Clovers work to trim the deficit to 3-2 after a solo home run. And they're off the bat of Nate Hill, his first of the year.
Just like last night, though, it kind of keeps the offense in. It keeps the morale high. So, okay, we're scoring.
Did the batter go?
I think
Apparently the umpire didn't want to say. It looks like they did put a strike up, so maybe he did call it a strike on his own.
Oh, that point wasn't to the umpire. That point was for strike.
Apparently, I was thinking he was going to check to see if he went. But
it was pretty obvious he went.
This one is swung on. This could be trouble. But Lane McLean is there.
Lane McLean.
Sorry, Lane McLean.
Yeah, don't disrespect Lane like that. That's not trouble for him.
Not trouble for him. So a good first out there. Now we go back to the top of the order. So good start to the inning for Dylan Smith. That going as a long P6.
And you see the confidence that Landry Moore has in Dylan Smith after the big 3-run inning for the Bogeys.
Yep.
He's still out there on the mound. They need him to get some outs.
So that will bring up Angel Lobo. Swings at the first pitch. Chance here for Chavis, and he makes the catch. So Lobo follows out in the first pitch. So 2 quick outs. And that's going to bring up Nolan Hall. And this is where the rally started for the Bogeys in the fourth inning.
Hall's been kind of a gamer this series so far. These 2 games, he's just living in the dirt. His uniform's always dirty, always sliding somewhere. Kind of had some tough at-bats, gotten on base a lot, but not like really didn't make it look easy. He's always battling up there.
So Smith will come set, delivers. And that's in there for a called strike. Hall 1 for 2 in the game, has grounded out to short, singled, scored a run. And that one in the dirt, not able to get Hall to offer it. That one he started, but was able to hold up. Hill will go through the signs. And falling off the mound there a bit, there was Dylan Smith. Losing a little bit of the momentum on the plant foot, so the count will go to 2-1. Pitch still didn't miss by all that much.
No.
So he's going to take just a second to get set. Back ready to go. Now he rocks and fires. And that one is swung at and missed.
Smith just, when he pulls out the little deceptive breaking ball, he looks like a really, really good strikeout pitcher, even though he's not really, I wouldn't call him a strikeout pitcher, just a guy who works very efficiently, throws a lot of strikes. But that deceptive breaking ball is really, really good.
The 2-2 is swung on. Lane McLean took a weird hop. Can he still make the play? He does. Wow, Lane McLean.
Gosh, that kid's athletic. Yeah, jumped right into his his chest. I mean, that was a really aggressive hop that he handled just no problem. He immediately got the ball out of his hand, threw across the diamond at Chavis, and it was a laser, and that was out number 3.
Yep, so we go to the top of the 6th. Clovers still down by a run. Going to bring the offense back to the plate. We'll see maybe if it's against the bullpen. We'll step aside as you're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson. It's a 3-2 lead for the Sandhills Bogeys here in Game 2, this best-of-3 game championship series. Here from Pinehurst, North Carolina, Clovers lead the series 1-0. So a win here for them in this game would crown them the champions. A win by Sandhills would force a winner-take-all Game 3 tomorrow night right back here in Pinehurst, North Carolina. As it looks like Nick Duncan has come back out, Nate.
They obviously are relying on Nick Duncan to get them through this one. Like I said earlier, he is their guy. And Duncan's pitch count is up to 73 pitches. But he's going to need to get them, I'm thinking 3 or 4 more outs here to send them into the 6th or 7th inning pretty comfortably with the, not comfortably with the 1-run lead. We obviously know no lead is safe really with these Clovers on the other side. But we'll see if the Clovers can snatch the lead here and maybe force Duncan out of the game. And
the Bogeys do have a pitcher that is well warmed in the bullpen. So should Duncan get into any trouble, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 batters for the Clovers as Brady Nathanson will step in. He has barreled up 2 baseballs tonight, but they have both been line drives right to the shortstop Petrie. Duncan will come set. And that's in there for a called strike. Painting the outer half. Zambito sets up low inside the pitch. That one is swung on and foul. Down the third base line. A little bit of a breeze picking up to straightaway center field. But some work here for Nathanson behind the count 0-2, leading off this top of the sixth. Duncan sets, delivers, and that's going to miss.
Very nice looking 0-2 pitch there. Nathanson didn't like it, didn't offer at it. And he got the benefit of the doubt from the home plate umpires. Now 1-2.
A little bit of a wait here from Duncan. He's ready to go, sets, delivers. And that one swung on, fouled out of play down the right field line over top of the Bogeys bullpen. So keep the count where it is. Connor Witherington, Thomas Watson due up for the Clovers. No hits yet from this 4, 5, and 6 spot in the order. That one is swung on, and that one's going to drop.
Look at that.
Right on cue.
Very disciplined at bat there from Nathanson as he starts down early and then digs that breaking ball out of the dirt. A little too close for comfort to watch, and he just digs it right out and pokes it right into center field.
Fourth hit of the night for the Clovers. So that'll bring up Connor Witherington. Witherington on the night has popped up to short and struck out. And has not looked very comfortable on either of his two at-bats against Nick Duncan. Nathanson, pretty good lead over there at first, being held on by Deppa. The pitch, that one's low. Good scoop there by the catcher, Zambito.
Nathanson's been the Clovers' most aggressive base runner this playoff series. This postseason, he's got 4 stolen bases.
Duncan trying to keep an eye on him. Couple of peeks over the shoulder of the pitch. That's outside. And the count is now 2-0. Thomas Watson and the on-deck circle for the Clovers. They trail 3-2. Here in Game 2 of this best-of-3 game championship series. Pitch here is going to be fouled well out of play.
It's a little bit of an aggressive swing there, 2-0. But I think Witherington saw the up and in fastball. Was like, I'm jumping all over this. I think he could have watched it for ball 3, though.
So instead of 3-0, it's 2-1. Here, the number 5 batter in the Clovers order. Yeah, that one ran up and inside as Witherington had to back out of the way of it.
Duncan's very comfortable challenging people on that inner half,
yeah,
like we've talked about all day, and he's continuing here with Witherington, he obviously has his number a little bit here tonight.
So the count now 3 balls, 1 strike. No outs. Nathanson on first after the leadoff single. Duncan sets, delivers. That one is swung on, shot foul. So the count going to go full.
Another pitch, Witherington outside. That was an outside fastball for the first time, and Witherington tried to pull it again. And just another pitch that could have maybe been on the outside corner, another ball 4 possibly. And if Witherington ends up being retired, just an at-bat of what could have been for Witherington.
We'll see here the payoff pitch. It is on its way, and that one is swung on. That's going to be down. That could be extra bases. Nathanson on his horse. He's going to get held up, but it'll be runners at the corners with nobody out for the Clovers.
And Connor Witherington proves once again that I don't know what I'm talking about, and he is much more well-versed in the art of hitting, and that I should probably just quit giving him suggestions.
And it looks like that is going to be the end of the night for Nick Duncan, as the call to the bullpen has been made by Bogeys manager Andy Fox. So with that, we'll step aside. We'll get the details on the new pitcher coming in. Clovers looking to maybe try to tie this game up as we play here in the top of the 6th inning. You're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with you, alongside Nate Johnson, as a call to the bullpen for the Sandhills Bogeys, as it's going to be number 27, the right-hander Clayton Clovers, 6'2", 175 pounds, a junior out of Ottawa University. Nate with some numbers on him.
Yeah, Nick Duncan was really the most trustworthy starter for the Bogeys on the mound to start the game, while Clayton Clovers is the most trustworthy guy to come out of the bullpen. Clovers got a 1-1 record on the year with 4 saves, though. That's a notable part. He's got a 2.18 ERA and 20.26. That's 2/3 innings pitched on only 8 hits. Really remarkable. 6 runs, only 5 of them earned, 10 walks to 16 strikeouts.
So we'll see if the Clovers can continue their rally here, as it's back-to-back singles to start the inning from Nathanson and Witherington. And it's going to be Thomas Watson, the first batter to face the new pitcher, Clayton Clovers. And for Watson, he's 0 for 2 on the night. He's flying out to center, popped up to second. So Letcher ready to go. Runners lead from first and second. Nobody out. 3-2 the score. First pitch. That one is swung on. That one hit out to left, going back for it. The left fielder at the fence. And that one's out of here. 3-run shot for Thomas Watson.
Man.
First pitch.
They call him T-Watt. His fourth of the summer. Wow. Tommy Watson, fellas.
Make it 5-3 Clovers.
I just wasn't expecting first pitch. He got one he liked, Clayton Clovers. Obviously got some good velocity, and he, put one out of here in a hurry. That one was deep up into the trees. It had, honestly, you could move the fence back a little bit, and I think it'd still get out of here.
So last night it was a 3-run shot from the Bogeys. Tonight a 3-run shot from the Clovers. 5-3 the score now.
Talk about catching your stride at the right point of the season. Tommy Watson had kind of a rough end of the regular season and really in the postseason just come alive.
Hey, there's been many of, I'll say major league careers. I know this is the collegiate level, but there's been many of major league careers that have been made from postseason moments.
Absolutely.
And pitch you're going to miss alone inside to Clayton Clovers. He's had a quiet night, 2 ground outs.
What do people remember more?
Correct.
Postseason moments.
Exactly. So the count now 1-0 here to Chovsky. Letcher. That one is swung on, taken the other way. That one's going to drop. So a single here for Chovsky.
Thus far, the Clovers not having much trouble with the big closer from the Sandhills squad. Obviously not in a closing situation.
Correct. And that's sometimes, could that be tough? I mean, we know we've seen Will Wenner closer, but obviously he's been in some other scenarios coming out of the bullpen earlier. But could this be a spot where Letcher truly is used to that closer role? Just maybe a little bit early for me. A weird feeling.
It's just a totally different mindset when you come in the game in the 6th inning than when you come in the 9th. It's just absolutely worlds apart, and he might be experiencing that right now.
So that will bring up Hill. He's got a solo shot tonight. Takes that one low and in the dirt. Hill 1 for 2 on the night. He homered in the 5th. He struck out in the 2nd. So unfortunately for the starter, Nick Duncan, not all that great of a result for him after they go to the bullpen. As this one will miss inside.
Duncan obviously had that really great stretch in the middle that we talked about.
13 in a row retired.
13 consecutive outs, and he will not get awarded with a win for it tonight. He's ineligible for it now.
Leading off first is Chovsky. Letcher still checking, delivers. That one's low, and the count is 3-0.
Letcher maybe just thinking twice about his pitch location here now with the Clovers obviously getting out on top of him early. Maybe cause him to miss a little bit here against Hill, who I'm very sure he remembers the last inning.
Yeah.
Hill took his predecessor deep.
Hill ready here in the left-handed batter's box. He takes that all the way. Not your typical get-me-over fastball, but it's in the zone on the outer half. And the count now 3-1. Hill definitely primed, you would think, if he gets a good one here, the count's 3-1, that he could be pulling the trigger if he finds something to his liking. Letcher comes set. delivers. And that one is swung on. That's taken the other way into the gap. Is this down? Unfortunately, that's going to be caught. Chalowski's got to hustle back. And he's going to get there, and then the throw gets away. Was that out of play? No, it wasn't. That was close. Almost went out of play, and Chalowski could have been at second.
Nate Hill ripped it.
Wow. What a job, though, by the left fielder Hall to track that one down. Got to give credit where credit's due.
All praise to Hull continued. We talked about him last inning at the plate, now in the field. An impressive catch out there in deep left center. And Hill has shown the opposite way all season. That might be the longest ball he's hit the opposite way, though. It wasn't too far from hitting the fence. Obviously, we saw the pull side power his last at-bat, and then Chalowski did a good job of hustling back. I think he thought that one was going to get down.
So that's allowed out number 1 here. In the top of the 6th as Caleb Smith will step up. He's hoping for a change of pace with a new pitcher, and he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He takes this one in, gets by the catcher, but first movement from the runner Chalowski was to hold there. Not near enough far away unless you're going to immediately commit to it right away. Not plus speed.
And I'd like to note that now the Clovers have just recorded here in the last couple minutes 20% of the hits hit against Caden Letcher all season. 2 of the 10.
That's really crazy to think.
He's only given up 8 hits before this.
That's crazy to think. The count 1-0 here to Smith. Runner goes, and it's a stolen base.
Caden Chalowski, not a guy who's going to steal all that often, but those 6-5 strides, that's going to help him a whole lot on the season now. That is Chalowski's, if I can find it.
So it was a strike at the plate. The scoreboard had 2-0, and it's 1-1.
That's his 6th stolen base of the year.
So in an unconventional spot, all the times we've talked about these last couple of nights of the Clovers wanting to run with speed on, and they run with Caden Chalowski.
They finally do it with a guy who's not really known for his speed.
So the 1-1. And that's outside, and the count will go to 2-1. As now looks like the scoreboard is caught up.
A big hit here from Caleb Smith could really blow a big shot to the confidence of the Bogeys. Obviously, you have had a lot of confidence going in with Letcher, but then the bottom of the order just really wreaked havoc.
The 2-1 upcoming. That's in the dirt, and the count is 3-1. Last night when Caleb Smith had his RBI singles first at bat, it was through the left side with a runner on second.
Did a great job of poking the bat out on an outside breaking ball and just got it far enough away from the shortstop, Petrie, to reach the outfield grass.
And that was Levesque, who was on second, who had come around to score. Count 3-1 here to Caleb Smith. That's in there. That's a good pitch there from Letcher.
Hill and Smith have a very similar consecutive at-bats now. You have the 3 balls. I think Hill swung at the 3-1 pitch, and that's the pitch he drove deep, and Smith obviously learned a lesson there, and he's taken the 3-1 pitch.
So payoff pitch upcoming. Runner at second, 1 away. That's outside. Ball 4 gets away, heading for third. Nope, now going back is Chalowski.
I think Chalowski had it.
I think he did.
I think if he just committed to that, he would have been there safely.
But he couldn't commit, so it'll be first and second. So that'll bring up the top of the order, as it'll be Lane McLean. He's been on base twice tonight, and he has done it both times via the walk.
Now do you double steal with 1 out?
We'll see here.
It's an interesting question because obviously you're very confident in Smith's speed, but he's not the lead runner. But Chalowski just proved to us why you might want to trust his speed.
First pitch upcoming here to McLean. That's going to be a nice pitch for strike 1. Definitely in a spot there where you're going to see McLean try to be patient. He's one where unless he really sees one to his liking, not going to get him all that often to go on that first pitch.
It's a good leadoff hitter should.
That one is swung on. That's a fair ball down the third base line. Chalowski had to avoid the third baseman. Smith is going to go for third. And I don't know what happened with Caleb Smith now. He's going to try to come home. And there's not going to be a play. 2 runs are going to score. Wow.
What a huge turn of events. Just a little ball that rolled under the glove. Taylor Smith recognized it. He knew he had the speed to get home.
Yep.
And obviously, you don't usually have anyone backing up the third baseman in that direction.
Correct.
They usually go behind the third baseman in foul territory, and that ball somehow got back in fair territory. And
then through all that, Lane McLean gets to third.
Absolutely.
So 2 runs come around to score. How are you going to score that, Mr. Score?
That's going to be an RBI double by McLean.
Okay.
And then Smith and McLean are going to advance on an error. Who do I rule the error on? That's the question.
I did not see who threw it. That we'll have to go back and look.
The left fielder threw it, but
yeah.
Is it on the throw or the catch? I guess it's on the throw.
I think you go on the throw.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is swung on. That's past the first baseman. Another run scores, 8-3. I think you're right, though, on the throwing error. And heading for second is Garrett Moffitt. That's an RBI for Moffitt.
Wow, what a turn of events here.
Wow, the cardiac Clovers.
Second double
lead.
of the night for Garrett Moffitt. Extends his franchise record with, I believe, his 17th double of the season.
So this will be the 9th batter of the inning in Zach Chavis, and they're still 1 away. As the catcher, Zambito, had went out to talk. There is now more action down in the bullpen for the Bogeys. This all happening here in the top of the 6th inning.
That hit percentage of Caden Letcher's from the Clovers is increasing. It's now 33%, 4 out of 12 hits this season.
Yep.
Just happened in the last, 5 or 10 minutes or so. Just quite a interesting line of events here with the Clovers really not having any issues facing Caden Letcher.
So that will bring in Zach Chavis. Again, he's the 9th batter of the inning. He's 1 for 3 on the night. RBI single back in the first inning. And this one's in the dirt. Heading back will be Moffitt out there at second. Got to make sure I had my guys right on the base pass here with everybody that's come around to score. So it's Moffitt at second after his RBI double. As that one didn't really get all that far away from Zambito. Made it kind of sound like it had gotten away further. That wasn't anything against Moffitt. Probably was a good call to go back, even though we know the speed he has. That one, that's a good pitch. That's in there for a strike. Good take, I feel like, for Chavis. See that first strike. Letcher's been a little bit around the zone.
And I just feel Zach has been way more successful in his at-bats when he's not come out there with a mind of, I need to hit this ball out of the park. Obviously, much less. Baseball is a lot about not thinking about things in the box. When you can clear your mind and just swing freely, you're often much more successful.
That one is swung on. This one's golfed into left. That's going to be too shallow, I believe, to send anybody, and they won't as it's a bluff.
You could call that a bogey.
You could call that a bogey. So there's the second out. The Clovers are going to bat around here as Nathanson will step up with 2 away. As I'll have to set up my scorebook here for them to bat around.
I hate doing that.
I know. Did it twice last night, once for each team. As it was the Bogeys who batted around in the second inning, and then the Clovers, they batted around in the 8th inning.
Nathanson looking for a second hit of the inning.
Yep, Nathanson, a singled to get things underway. 1 for 3 on the night. 8-3 the score. That one's going to miss up, and a nice job there, too, for Nathanson to get out of the way of that just in case there was anything going on. We've already seen that interference kind of go against the Clovers once in the postseason.
I'll also say how good Zambito's been behind the plate. Obviously, his first night catching in this series. Last night, Muñez was the catcher, but Zambito done a good job this inning. He's really had to work a lot.
So the count 1-0. That one's low, gets away. That's going to be an easy one for Moffitt to go. That's that one stride towards you see, and then you go.
Yep.
So the count will be 2-0. It's a runner at third. And the count, again, 2-0 here to Brady Nathanson. Again, we can't continue to talk enough about this edition. Nathanson coming over earlier this year from the Tarboro River Bandits.
How often can you get a player to come to your team halfway through the year and then they hit 500?
Yeah. I don't know, the more I think about it, I'm glad they didn't have a spot for him in the outfield.
I am too.
The pitch. That one is swung on. A loud shot. That's past the third baseman. It's another RBI single here for Brady Nathanson. Make it 9-3. And now going for second is Nathanson, and he's safe.
Wait, I was scoring it. What happened?
I do not know, but all I know is that Brady Nathanson took the bag with him. And they're going to need the digger tool here to be able to get the bag back in, but what a turn of events.
So this is where my job gets hard. Do I rule that a double? Because I didn't
I
really
was
see
not
why.
looking.
Why did he go to second base?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to give him a double.
I say go maybe aggressiveness, the benefit of the doubt there, and say that he aggressively was just looking for two. I mean, it was down into the left field corner down by the Clovers bullpen.
I mean, there's an argument to be said that was an error by the third baseman.
It could be, yeah. That was a hot shot, though. I mean, I know it's the hot corner, but he was going at it for backhand. I think maybe we give the benefit. I think we give the benefit of the doubt there to Wolf on that one.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. It has been that kind of inning for the Clovers. How many hits is now that inning? Is that the sixth hit this inning?
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits.
7 hits.
And how many did Mr. Letcher have coming into the year?
Coming into tonight, only 8.
So we're
How
almost.
many of those are off of him?
Let's see here. So he gave up the home run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 he has given up.
Wow.
Because it was 2 singles.
Can we get to 8?
Yeah, we'll see.
He doubles his hit count on the year in 1 inning.
The Clovers did have an inning earlier this playoffs where they sent 14 batters to the plate. That was in the series against Reedsville. So that brings up Witherington 9-3. Is the score 2 away? That one is swung on and fouled.
All of these corners. Everyone wants to hit to a corner. Honestly, the first and third baseman should just stand on the bag.
Yeah.
Because that's where the Clovers
I really do think, I heard this was brought up one year, and I know it was a funny thing, but I do think that the first and third baseman should get bigger gloves. They should be able to have a bigger web pocket. They're playing at the hot corners.
The thing is, it's hard to get out of a bigger glove.
That is true.
So you don't see those Manny Machado get the ball and throw it immediately.
Yeah. So the count 0-1. Did he go? They're going to check. Maybe they won't. So it'll be 1-1. I do think that Witherington held up there, but I thought maybe they were going to give the courtesy check. And unfortunately, I got a lot of messages coming in about the game not being live tonight from some parents. Unfortunately, we're sorry that we're not able to bring it to you live, even though nobody
Hopefully they'll be able to watch this at
Hopefully
some point.
we'll be able to watch this at some point. Here's the pitch. That one was a tight pitch, but no call from the home plate umpire. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Letcher sets, delivers. That's going to drop in. One you might have liked to see Witherington try to attack at, but he's going to take it benefit of the doubt in the count, even now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Letcher potentially a pitch away from getting out of the inning here. Clovers have Brady Nathanson out there at second. Letcher comes set. Delivers. And that one is swung on, and this one popped up to the second baseman. And that's going to end the inning. Clovers send 11 batters to the plate, and they take a 9-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th here in Pinehurst, North Carolina. Game 2 of the best of 3-game series here in the Old North State League Championship matchup. You're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside my broadcast partner, Nate Johnson. Clovers are going to go to the bullpen here, so the night for Dylan Smith is over. And, boy, what a turn of events. As out of the bullpen, it's going to be Matt Hall, who recently has announced his commitment to UNC Asheville. And some numbers on him this year from Nate.
Matt Hall, he's got 8.2 innings pitched on the year, and we've got a start. He's got a 3-0 record, 4 hits given up, only 1 run. It was earned, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. So really good numbers, including a 1.04 ERA.
And what a batter he gets to start facing off here is it's the designated hitter, Charlie Muniz, who's got a 2-run home run tonight. And that one going to miss outside. Both pitches have been on the outer half here as the count is 1-1. Muniz has struck out and given the Bogeys a 2-run shot. And that one fouled straight back, so you'd have to say he's probably on the fastball.
And while Dylan Smith is going to be, he was about 88 to about 91 tonight, Matthew Hall is going to be a little tick faster. He's going to be 90, 92, maybe 93.
They set up outside here. Here's the pitch, and that one is swung on. This is going to be a tough play. The bare hand. Can he make the play? PFP. Matthew Hall. What a play. That's going to be the first out of the inning. Now the home plate umpire is going to come out and wants to check that baseball. As he's going to let Matt Hall keep it.
And this is really, if you've been keeping up with this Clover team throughout the playoffs, this is a marvelous return of Matt Hall because he basically sat out the entire regular season with some arm soreness. He threw about 55 innings in the spring collegiate season. He's like, you know what, I want to take a month or two off, which understandably so. But he just put up ridiculous numbers before and now after.
That one going to miss outside. And, again, we mentioned it just a minute ago, but congratulations on him to announcing that commitment to UNC Asheville, Division I.
So I think the Clovers now have 3 UNC Asheville guys.
Nice. Is this one miss low and outside? I do believe you are.
Caden Chalowski and Brandon Scheck. I'm not sure if he's still there.
So Chalowski and, I'll say Scheck must be not because it's not coming up on our rosters, Asheville. There's a swing and a miss. I can actually check what the league has. Scheck
at some point
undecided
was.
Now they have. They definitely have changed that. You're right about that.
At some point he was UNC Asheville.
Yeah, and now he is undecided. That one's going to miss inside. 2-1 is the count. 1 away here, bases empties. The batter is Hunter Honeycutt. He's got a single and a run scored. He's also flied out to left. Swings and misses at a fastball here on the outer half. That'll even the count up 2-2.
And it's very interesting to me how Matt Hall is kind of, I don't know if embrace is the right word, but come into this little reliever role in short innings. Because
I think embrace is a good way to.
Yeah, because at Catawba Valley where he was at, he was a long-distance guy. He was a starter. He wanted to go 5, 6, 7 innings every outing.
So it's going to be a 1-out walk worked by Hunter Honeycutt to put a runner on. So that will bring up Caden Petrie. He has struck out and walked here tonight.
And I actually think if this score is a little bit different, if maybe slightly closer, I think Matt Hall doesn't come in at this point in the game because I think he might have started tomorrow.
Okay.
If the Clovers ended up dropping this game.
So runner leads off first, Honeycutt. That one is a half-hearted swing there by Petrie.
Hall's last appearance was against the Lexington Flying Pigs in Game 1 where he got the last 2 outs of the top of the 8th or 9th. I believe it was the 8th. And then the Clovers scored all those runs in the bottom. No, it was the bottom of the 9th.
Yep.
And that's when they won the ballgame. So Matthew Hall got credit for the win.
This one swung on. Going to be a tough play for McLean. Did he catch that in a line? He did. So he gets the out. Nice alert job by Hunter Honeycutt to quickly get back to the bag. So there's 2 away. That wasn't definitely the rocket liner to short that we've seen the Clovers do on 2 occasions to Petrie. But he tried to see if he could outsmart his counterpart there.
That was about the easiest play Lane McLean will have all day.
True.
Didn't have to run particularly fast to get to it. There's just right there is a hanging duck right from the snag out of the air. And there's 2 away for Matt Hall.
So that'll bring in Josh Zambito. He has singled and grounded into a double play here tonight. Runner at first still for the Bogeys. Hall will come set. That one swung at it and missed. It gets away, but holding is going to be Honeycutt. So he makes his way back. As the count 0-1. So Matt Hall, not to get confused with Mr. Hall from the Sandhills Bogeys.
Yeah.
Nolan Hall on the number 2 spot.
They sound so similar. Hall, H-U-L-L.
Yeah,
Hall,
Matt
H-A-L-L.
Hall and Nolan Hall. Runner goes, the pitch. That's a strike, the throw. And if it would have been a little more on line, it might have had a chance. But a nice job there for Hunter Honeycutt as he's going to get a stolen base. So first stolen base of the night for the Bogeys. And the count is going to be 0-2.
I wonder if Honeycutt and Matt Hall have played at some point in the college game, because Honeycutt's an App State Mountaineer, and I know they're not the same level as Catawba Valley or UNC Asheville now where Hall's going, but same part of the state.
Yeah, maybe a spring
an exhibition,
fall game, yeah.
something. They've got to play. Catawba Valley only like 45 minutes an hour from App State.
And Catawba Valley, a very good program, sending players off to numerous D2 and D1 programs.
A lot to App State.
Yeah, kind of a pipeline. And Hall thought he had the strikeout there.
Nate Hill even pumped the fist.
And they do not get it. So the count 1-2 here to Zambito. And a runner at second after the stolen base from Honeycutt. Got to make sure to note that down to give Mr. Honeycutt his credit for the stolen base. Hall will come set. The pitch. That one is swung on. Can he get another one? He's going to take his time here. 2 outs for Matt Hall. And that's going to strand a runner on for the Bogeys as we go to the 7th. 9-3, the score in favor of the Clovers. We'll step aside. You're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with you, alongside Nate Johnson, as a call to the bullpen for the Sandhills Bogeys. As it's going to be the left-hander, number 20, Jacob Wells, 5'10", 185 pounds. A sophomore who's currently, we believe, in the transfer portal, is listed on the league website. Nate with some numbers on him.
Jacob Wells is going to be one of the more well-used arms out of the bullpen for the Bogeys. He's got a 3-0 record as that warm-up pitch will reach the seats.
Just a bit outside.
4.85 ERA. He's got a save. He's got 26 innings pitched, 27 hits, 17 runs, 14 of them earned, 10 walks to 32 strikeouts. So really good ratio, but that's the one concerning part of Wells' line is the hits and the runs. So walks might not be a problem, but balls left over the plate just might be for Mr. Wells.
Okay. As was trying to do some searching, looks like Jacob Wells might have at one point went to Virginia State University. And maybe that's where he is in the transfer portal from. As we get ready to go here in the top of the 7th inning, Wells will face Thomas Watson.
The recent hero of Clayton.
Takes this one for a called strike.
I've always found Virginia State to be a weird name for the school because Virginia's technically not a state.
You're right. It's Commonwealth.
That's their thing.
Yeah.
So, like, VCU is actually Virginia State, but they're just called Virginia Commonwealth.
Correct. This one's fouled back so quickly. 0-2 the count here to Thomas Watson.
It's like if there was a North Carolina Commonwealth. I'm like, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't exist.
That would North Carolina Commonwealth University. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
So here's the pitch, and that one came in a little bit. That had some weird movement to it late. As Watson wanted to back out of the way of it, he started to swing at it. So the count 1-2. Wells delivers. That one is swung on, fouled out of play. That'll get to the parking lot. As we play here in the top of the seventh, 9-3 the score. Clovers with the lead. As Wells, he is the third pitcher out of the bullpen. Well, second pitcher out of the bullpen, third pitcher of the night. That one is swung on, and a cue shot now into the Bogeys dugout. As the count will hold here at a ball and 2 strikes. Wells will come set. That one is going to be in the dirt. And that will even the count out.
Watson's not going to go away quickly. Watson wants that batting average to keep going up.
Currently, he is 1 for 3. He has flied out to center, popped up to second, and then the 3-run shot back in the 6th inning, which completely turned around this game.
Changed the game entirely.
Here's the pitch. That one is swung on into the glove. What a play by Wolf.
It's a third of the afternoon that the Bogeys have just stolen from the Clovers. Nathanson had the first 2, the shortstop Petrie, and now Watson gets robbed of a base hit by Mr. Wolf at third base.
And now Mr. Watson has some things to share here with Mr. Chalowski before he comes to the plate that he saw from Wells.
Chalowski just had coming off his first hit in a while. Had a kind of a cold streak here in the playoffs.
He singled and scored in that 6th.
Let's see if he can keep that up.
And he's going to watch this one miss up and away. So definitely good velocity out of the hand here of Wells. But he did give a good one for Watson to barrel up. Just couldn't find some open space. And did he go there? They're going to check, and they say he did.
I agree. I think he did too.
First time tonight we've checked.
Yeah, we haven't checked really at all.
That's correct. We've had the catchers ask for it, but the umpire has not actually went to ask the umpires on the check appeal. So the count will be 1-1.
I thought he went.
And this time he does go here. He fouls it off, and the count is now 1-2. Nate Hill in the on-deck circle. He's got a long fly tonight. Solo shot back in the 5th. Count of ball and 2 strikes here to Chalowski. Wells delivers, and that one is going to be fouled. Well, we'll see here. Clover's dugout was thinking that hit Chalowski, and he didn't offer at it.
Okay, well, he swung. So you don't want it to hit him. You want it to hit off his bat. That's what the umpire said. He said it was a foul ball.
Correct.
That's what you want, because if it didn't hit off the bat and it hit him, that means Caden Chalowski's out. So
Landry Moore wants to question here.
I hope Landry Moore is not going to get what I think he wants here.
So right now it's just the home plate umpire he is talking with. The home plate umpire has not yet asked for help from the other umpires. Now he's going to ask for help here based on what Landry Moore has asked to be discussed and reviewed here.
Okay. If they discuss it, if they turned it over, they can't give him a base.
Correct.
But
well, we say that, but you never know. I've come to learn at this point, you just never know anymore.
I guess. It was a check swing.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not 100% because he wasn't like full swing, but I think it was pretty obvious he went on the check swing.
So we'll see here with this extended conversation between the umpires, and
that nothing changes.
Okay.
They signaled 1-2.
Okay.
It was 1-2.
That's what, yeah, yep.
So
just a foul ball, we'll call it.
Yep.
And the count will be a ball and 2 strikes with 1 away. Base is empty, so a whole lot of nothing coming out of that discussion.
Yeah.
So Chalowski will step back in. Facing the left-hander, Jacob Wells. The pitch. That's up and away. So the count leaving up 2 balls, 2 strikes. Zambito goes to the sides behind the plate. The pitch. That's going to be outside. And the count has been worked full here. 3 balls, 2 strikes by Chalowski. Hill in the on-deck circle. And that one is swung on. Could be a play for the shortstop, and that'll be easy for Petrie. And there's 2 away.
Now let's see if Nate Hill can put another charge into a baseball. He's had 2 great at-bats in a row. Almost got a ball out the opposite way his last time up. And then did get a ball out 2 times ago.
And I think it's kind of funny, too. We saw a rocket from the Toledo Rocket.
Absolutely. How have I not used that yet
I
this
don't
year?
know. And now this one, watch out there, Nate Hill.
I used Maction before. There's a rocket from the Toledo Rocket.
Yeah.
Maction is a football thing.
That is the football thing, yeah. Obviously, knowing that.
It's Thursday. No, it's not Thursday. It's Friday. About to say, darn.
So the count 1-0. That's in there. Actually, for me, some familiarity with Maction. Actually, one year I had the chance to work at the University of Buffalo, broadcasted women's basketball.
Did you really?
So I was not a part of the football team, but I was part of the women's basketball team. Got a chance to broadcast on good old CBS Sports Radio. Seems like forever ago. That was back in the 2014 season. Dating myself. Not too much, but 2014, 2 years out of college. Thought maybe that was going to be the route to go.
It wasn't?
Different breed in that D1 lifestyle, though. That one is given a ride, but unfortunately maybe too much on the line, and it is falling down to a knee with Spicer.
Nate Hill is killing the
And
ball
defensively, he had to make the catch in right field.
Doesn't take anything away from Nate Hill. He's swinging a hot bat.
Correct.
If he gets up again, we'll see what he can do with possibly his last steps on the season. But at this point, the Clovers trying to keep their lead.
They are. We're going to go to the 7th inning stretch here from Pinehurst, North Carolina. It's a 9-3 advantage for the Clayton Clovers over the Bogeys of Sandhills. Second game of this 3-game set. Clovers looking to try to come home champions. We'll step aside. You're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 9-3 the score. Clovers with the lead. Matt Hall has come back out here for the Clovers. This second inning of work going to face the bottom third as Garrett Wolf will step in to lead things off.
And I like this decision to send Matt Hall back out there. Had a really good first inning of work, only 16 pitches, and now facing the bottom of the order, you want to see if he can get through 6 outs and then maybe turn it over to another guy in the bullpen.
So we'll see here. Again, it's Wolf, Deppa, Spicer. As Wolf on the night has an RBI single. He's also struck out looking. That one going to miss a little bit high. In that 6th inning for Hall, he gave up a walk. Had a pair of comebackers to him. Also had a line out to short. That one is swung on, skied in the air. Will it be playable for Chalowski? He stays in play, makes the catch.
And he gets a nice pat on the back from his teammates there. He gets to look really cool making the catch right in front of his pals over there on the bench.
So that is the first out, and that's going to bring up Dominic Depa, first baseman.
I always like to learn about new schools here in summer ball, and I learned about a new one when researching Dominic Depa. He goes to Wilmington College in Wilmington, Ohio, which I did not know existed.
I remember we were talking about that last night. We were thinking Wilmington, like there's a couple different
I know Wilmington, North Carolina, of course, Wilmington, Delaware, and I knew Wilmington, California.
See, I knew Wilmington, Delaware, and the Wilmington, North Carolina, but we did not know about the one in Ohio. I didn't know about the one in Ohio. And that one's in there for a strike. Also had the chance to, I can't remember if it's from the Bogeys, but St. Scholastica, I told you about.
Yeah, it's
school
on
in
deck,
Minnesota.
Philly Spicer.
So Spicer, the school out in Minnesota, really known for their ice hockey. Obviously, Minnesota, the state of ice hockey.
Yep. Yeah, St. Scholastica almost sounds like a made-up school to me.
So I believe the count is a ball and a strike here to Depa.
I have 2-1.
Okay. Might have missed the pitch there. Scoreboard had 0-1, then it had 1-1.
Uh-huh.
And they're going to say that Depa swung at that. So by your count, it's 2-2. Scoreboard has 1-2.
I could be wrong. We were talking about St. Scholastica.
It's 1-2.
Okay, I was wrong.
Oh, we get it right here. So 1-2, one away. Hall comes set, delivers.
Ooh,
and
close on that
outside
outside corner. Now it's 2-2.
Yep.
And Matt Hall does have sort of, I'm not going to call it sidearm, but it's like a three-quarter arm slot, and it gives him some nice spin on that ball.
That one given a ride well out of play into the parking lot, third base side.
That arm slot is a little bit deceptive. It causes the ball to run away from that left-handed batter just a little bit, more than usual.
Hall will come set, locked in a 2-2 count here. The pitch. That one is swung on, tipped into the glove. Depa not all over that one. That's going to be the second out of the inning.
And Depa now through 2 games, still hitless, 0 for 8 through these games against the Clayton squad.
So that'll bring up Finley Spicer, aforementioned out of St. Scholastica. Also, we talked about last night, an awesome baseball name, just an also awesome sport name. But
Finley Spicer.
Finley Spicer. Hall delivers. That one's in there for a called strike.
Who's got the best name on the Clayton squad?
That's a good question.
Where's that roster? Hold on, let me look at it.
Here's the pitch. That one's fall off. I mean, I'm partial. I personally would have to go with Lincoln Eiler, but that's just obviously being a three-year Clover and me knowing Link. But yeah, Lincoln Eiler is one I've always liked.
I liked Alex Levesque.
Yeah, because the French influence on it. The count 0-2. The pitch. That one swung on and missed, strike 3. Matthew Hall is fired up coming off the mound. Back-to-back strikeouts for him.
Man, it makes you wish you had a little bit Matt Hall this season.
Correct.
Obviously, it took almost 2 months out of baseball, and he comes back as good as ever.
So we are going to go to the top of the 8th as the Clovers have a 9-3 lead. Game 2 of this best-of-3 game series between the Clovers and the Bogeys as you're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson as we go to the top of the 8th. 9-1-2 for the Clovers up against Jacob Wells. So we will see Caleb Smith bat from the right-handed side of the plate for the first time tonight. He's going to swing at the first pitch. That goes right into the fencing.
Smith got got his first run of the night, his last time up after he walked.
Yep.
Reached base for the first time. He's still 0 for 2, though, looking for his first hit.
Wells delivers. That one is swung on almost the same exact spot. And just like that, it's 0-2. Zambito will go through the signs here behind the plate. That one is swung on. Taken out to right. Spicer going back for it. And he's going to make the catch. So good contact from Smith, not able to find green grass. So we'll go back to the top of the order.
And Lane McLean, he's been on base all night tonight. 2 walks and a double.
And Chris Power is going to have to get the bat there from Caleb Smith that somehow made its way 3/4 of the way down the first baseline. So he had to hand it off there to Lane McLean, and then he's going to toss it off.
Lane's the only Clover tonight with 2 runs. He's the leader on the team in run score this season with 60 now.
As he's going to take a beautiful breaking ball for a called strike here.
And I'm going to look. That might be a single season record.
It's definitely a high number. I'll give you that. That's going to miss outside over in the left-handed batter's box. So the count will even up at the ball and strike.
Oh, yeah, it's not even close.
Don't you love it when you get those? Oh, yeah, not even close. That one is swung on, chopped to second. Took a little bit of a weird hop for Honeycutt, but he'll be able to make the play. And there's 2 away in the 4-3 ground now.
I should have figured with 19 mercy rules this season.
Yeah,
they've set the individual season record for runs scored in a season. It was 42, Mike Snyder last year, and Lane McLean with 60 will be the new record holder.
So he's had that for just a bit.
Yeah.
As that bring up Garrett Moffitt, he's got a pair of doubles on the night. He'll take a breaking ball for a called strike here. Looks like Wells has settled in for the Bogeys. That one almost caught the elbow. It'll even the count up. Moffitt, as of late, has been a batter that's been getting hit by some pitches. The 1-1, that'll be outside on the other side of the plate. So the count will go 2-1. Jacob Wells looking for a 1-2-3 8th frame.
The Bogeys pitcher's not done that in quite a little bit.
And that's going to be fouls. I was going to say that will not be the case here. But
almost got over the bag.
Moffitt not able to find fair territory there. So
Garrett's,
count even 2-2.
Garrett's looking for his 3rd double of the night and 18th of the season. I'm telling you, Garrett is almost just as many doubles as hits or as singles.
And did he make contact though? That he didn't. And a throw down to first. And that will end the inning. Moffitt thought he made contact with it, but the umpire said no. So it'll be a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Wells and the Bogeys as we go to the bottom of the 8th. 9-3 the score. We'll step aside. You're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Matt Hall has made his way back out for his 3rd inning of relief. He is yet to allow a hit. He's allowed just 1 base runner. It was a walk in the 6th inning. He's also struck out 2. He'll face the top of the order.
Talk about sort of a blessing in disguise for Coach Landry Moore on Matt Hall 2 months ago, saying, hey, Coach, I need to take a little while off.
That one swung on and right into the Clovers dugout, talking about Landry Moore.
But you get to playoff time,
yep.
And Matt Hall says, I'm back, I'm good to go, and you have a very well-rested pitcher that you've obviously not had all season.
Correct.
And now you have this huge weapon out of your arsenal that you've not been using all year.
Guy that wants to compete. As his 0-1. That's going to miss off the outer half. They won't get the call.
And that's especially true at a time when, obviously, Brandon Humphreys is not available. He threw.
Even though he said last night he was.
I can do it if you need me to.
Yeah,
but
we know that he's not.
He's thrown about 140 pitches over the last week.
Yep, that one's going to miss.
And Will Leonard, while still available,
yeah.
because he's Will Leonard, and this is it for him,
yeah.
He's thrown about 130 pitches over the last couple days.
Here's the 2-1. That one fouled out. So the count will even up 2 balls, 2 strikes. So, yeah, I mean, the Clovers definitely have some options here of guys that they could roll out here. Like I said earlier, we've got a guy, we got Bess Poyasny, Poltridge, you've got Will Leonard.
Those 3 have been the 3 most trustworthy.
And there is a single into left field. So Angel Lobo has his first hit of the night.
And do you think about putting Polters in here?
Maybe. We'll see.
Polters was warming up when Dylan Smith faced some trouble earlier. And obviously the 2 – I think if Nolan Hole reaches, you seriously consider it.
Yeah.
Because then you have, obviously, Munoz due up next.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously 2 on and nobody out. That's something you might want to think about.
So Hall gives up his first hit of the night. And that's going to miss inside. So the count will be 1-0. Hall on the night is 1 for 3, singled and scored back in the 4th.
Hall v. Hull here.
Yes. And now that's going to miss off the outer half of the plate. Hall not missing by much all around. Runner leads off first. That's Lobo. The 2-0 runner goes. That's a ball. The throw. Is it in time? It's not.
Angel Lobo didn't slide. He should have. Nate Hill threw a laser, and Lane McLean caught it right on the leg of Lobo. Lobo had a really good jump, but Nate Hill made it really, really close.
So it will be a 3-0 count here to Nolan Hall. As that pitch did not catch the zone. Hall will come set. He delivers. That's in there for a strike. But the question is, can Matt Hall work back into the count here to make it full or potentially get something in play here? Lobo leads at second. The pitch. That one is swung on. McLean grounds it. The throw is in time. So that advances the runner, but another nice play from Lane McLean.
I don't want to diminish the play, but the Clovers will 100% trade a base for an out at this point, with the Bogeys only being down to their last 5, in which they've got to score 6 runs. So a tall task for Sandhills, but Lane McLean, wow, he makes web gems all the time, and we don't hardly talk about him, but he makes them so often.
Correct. You don't want to say it's an assured thing.
That was just such a tough play off the middle, and he made it with such ease.
So the home plate umpire is trying to talk here to the manager for the Bogeys as he was still talking to his runner at third, and Matt Hall was about ready to start his delivery as Andy Fox was in play talking to his runner, Lobo. So that will bring in Charlie Mooney's 1 for 3 on the night. That's going to hit him off the elbow guard. So he is going to head down to first.
You're hearing, so you might be able to hear it on the mic. The Sandhills fans feel that was intentional because Charlie Mooney's has hit 5 home runs over the last week or so.
That's the $3 beers talking at this point.
Yeah, but doubtfully intentional.
Correct.
But strategically,
yeah,
it's not the worst move of all time.
Correct.
Because obviously they're correct. Mooney does have the 5 home runs this week, and not only that, he's got 3 doubles as well.
Correct. So that will bring up Hunter Honeycutt. He's been on base twice tonight. He has singled, he has walked, he has flied out to left. Righty-lefty matchup. And the pitcher going to miss low and away.
And Honeycutt has a home run in the regular season, and he has a postseason home run as well for 2 on the year. So if you're thinking about some quick runs for the Bogeys, he could potentially supply it.
Runners at the corners. The pitch. That one is swung on. Hit to second. Flip to short, and it's going to be wide. And Mooney's is going to head for third. And so that is going to bring a run in, and it'll put 2 runners in scoring position. So instead of at least getting 1 out, the Clovers don't get anything.
And that's where you start to miss Davey Morgan just a little bit.
Yep.
Caleb Smith has been very good and second base these last 2 games, and defensively as well. But obviously Caleb Smith has spent a lot more time as of recently in the outfield. So a little bit of an inexperienced second baseman, and you're just wound to come up with an error at some point. And that will advance both base runners as well. So it'll be a 9-4 ball game,
Yep, 1 away. And that will bring up Caden Petrie. Hall will come set. Delivers. And that one going to miss.
That'll only be the 2nd run of the season all summer against Matt Hall. Will not be an earned run, though. So
Correct.
The ERA will continue to go down if he can get a couple outs here.
Runners lead off 2nd and 3rd. And that one will miss. The count 2-0.
Just a little high there from Hall.
As Hill will go through the signs. Here's the pitch. That one is swung on. That's a play. Whoa! Caden Chlowski. Did the ball come out?
Landing on the ground, the ball knocked out of the glove.
So they're going to say that he did not come up with it.
I think that's a fair call.
Wow.
And especially if you're the Clovers, nobody scored, so really no real damage done. But Chlowski
almost a highlight reel play.
Almost just made a Sports Center top 10 worthy play.
Wow.
But instead the ball bounces to the dirt on, I think that was the contact with the ground.
Yeah.
That's going to be a single to Chlowski at third instead.
So that'll load the bases up, and that'll bring Landry Moore out with a Zambito coming up. So we'll see if Coach Moore goes to the bullpen.
I wouldn't mind a call to the bullpen here. I mean, Hall has obviously done his job, get through the middle innings, but Landry Moore's going to leave him out there. He's fully confident in his right-hander.
So staying in will be Matt Hall. After the ground out to McLean, it's been a hit-by pitch, and then there was an error by Caleb Smith trying to get the runner at second, and then the single by Petrie. 1 run is in as it's 9-4. Zambito 1 for 3 on the night. He is singled, grounded into a double play, grounded back to the pitcher.
And now some life here at Bogey Field at the Dempsey Diamond, as it says on the scoreboard.
Correct.
So those last 5 outs looking pretty elusive.
We will see here. Hall will come set. Delivers. That one is swung at and missed. So that'll be the first strike.
The thing is, though, Hall has just gotten through the worst of it. Hall, Munoz, Honeycutt, Petrie.
Correct.
Those are the scary ones in this order.
Yep.
He's gotten through that now. So now you can breathe a little bit of the sigh of relief facing the 6 through 9 spots.
He's ahead in the count 0-1. Here's the pitch. That one fouled out of play, first base side. And the count will go to 0-2. Garrett Wolf and the on-deck circle.
Garrett Wolf's been a little scary this series.
He has been.
Don't mean to diminish his role.
Nope. Had an RBI single tonight. Had a 3-run shot in the game last night. Also had a single. The 0-2 count here for Matt Hall facing Josh Zambito. Here's the pitch, and that is going to miss.
Oh, man. That looked good.
Off the outer half.
I mean, that was just a fastball right on the edge of the plate. I'm not sure where that one missed.
So Hall going to have to try something else here. There's Hall. Will come set. Gets the signs here from Hill. The right-hander delivers. And that one swung on him as strike 3.
I think that was a changeup from Hall, and it ran not only down but in on Zambito. A great 1-2 pitch from Matt Hall.
So that's the second out.
A good changeup. Does have not only that vertical movement, but a little bit of horizontal break on the end as well. And that arm slot, that 3/4 arm slot, is going to help Mr. Hall on that as well.
So a big at-bat here. It's Garrett Wolf.
So now that's 2 outs. Takes away the sac fly. No more trading out for a run.
Hall will come set. He takes a deep breath. That one is swung on. That one's skied. Who calls for it? And the catch will be made by Chavis battling the lights. And that's going to end the inning. So 1 run comes in. The bases get left loaded. Matthew Hall gets through it. And my friend, we're on to the 9th inning.
On to the 9th. Game 2. The Old North State League Championship Series. Doesn't get better than this, folks.
As we'll step aside, you're watching here on the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson as we go to the top of the 9th inning. 3-4-5 due up for the Clovers against the left-hander Jacob Wells, who has casually retired all 6 batters that he has faced since coming in the 7th inning. Clovers have not had anything since they had all their offense in that 6th inning, sending 11 batters to the plate.
Wells has filled his role to a T. Just come in and get quick outs, and hopefully your offense can help you out.
He misses outside here to Chavis. Chavis hasn't done anything at the plate since all the way back in the 1st inning. It was an RBI single. And he chops this one. Is it in the box?
It was off the plate.
And now there's a call from the home plate umpire. There hadn't been any call. And so it will be a foul ball in the box. Chavis, since that RBI single, was flied out to right, flied out to left, lined out to the first baseman.
That hit back in the 1st inning for Chavis was his 50th on the summer. There's just not a whole lot of summer league teams where they have multiple 50 hit guys on their team.
No, that is rarefied air in the college summer ball world.
The Clovers, they've got 3 of them, with Davey Morgan as well.
That one's fouled out of play, third base side, so the count will go to 1-2.
The thing about this series is no Davey Morgan.
Correct.
Like, what if this series had Davey Morgan?
Unfortunately, yeah.
How much different would these 2 games have been?
Great to see Davey here tonight with the team, made the trip. 1-2 on its way. That one is at least foul. Is that sending everyone in the Bogeys dugout scattering? It'll be Javis Nathanson Witherington. Middle of the order for the Clovers here in the top of the ninth. Another 1-2 pitch on its way to Chavis. That one is swung on and missed for strike three.
Just got him on the upstairs and outside pitch. Chavis once again looking to pull that one, and you're not going to be able to pull that one that far outside.
So that'll bring up Brady Nathanson. Definitely would like to see a good at bat here from the Clovers left fielder.
He's had 4 good at bats.
Yeah.
He's just 2 for 4. The first 2 obviously hit really squarely, just right at the shortstop Petrie.
That one's going to miss low and inside.
Another day, wind's a little different. Just something about the day is different. Brady Nathan could easily be 4 for 4 today.
Yep. Right now, no breeze really to speak of enough to get the flag going out in center field. Here's the 1-0. That one's going to be in the dirt. I also feel like he just draws like different approaches from pitchers. I mean, we'll say that Jacob Wells, I mean, he's been pumping the strike zone.
Yes.
He's putting 2 breaking balls in the dirt here to start off this at bat to Brady Nathanson.
It's just interesting because, like we've talked about last game, Brady Nathan's not the conventional 4-hitter where he's Barry Bonds or David Ortiz.
Correct.
You know, he's
those are 2 pretty big names.
Yeah,
to pick. I'm not nothing against you, but
he's not.
Yeah, you're right.
He's not straight power.
Correct.
He is not. He's a guy who is so scary in the lineup, and the reason he's in the 4-hole is because of the consistency and how often he's on base.
And he swings at the 3-0. So the count will be 3-1 now. So a rare swing at a pitch outside of the zone there from Brady Nathanson. Just trying to take advantage maybe to see if he was going to get one right down the middle of the plate to try to get into the zone. So Wells will come set. And that's inside. That'll be ball 4. So first base runner for the Clovers against the reliever Jacob Wells. It's a 1-out walk here in the 9th. So that'll bring up Connor Witherington. Quiet night for him. Just 1 hit, a run scored. 1 for 4.
Quiet night except that one big inning for the Clovers in which they scored those 7 runs. And kind of, I think something came over the Clovers as a team, and Witherington was a part of that, scoring those 7 runs. But other than that, Witherington really has not had a great night. He's had kind of a poor approach to the plate. Sorry to say it, but popped out a lot, swinging early at kind of pitches I wouldn't be swinging at early in the count.
So he follows that one back. His off and running was Nathanson.
But then again, last time I sort of insulted, to say the word, Connor during his at-bat. He proved me wrong and put a ball deep in the left field.
So we'll see maybe if that reverse psychology can work again here.
Maybe he can hear me.
Maybe.
Connor, more than anyone else on the team, gives us looks from the batter's box.
Yes. So he is behind in the count here, 0-1. Runner at first, 1 away, top of the 9th. Wells delivers, and that one's going to be fouled out of the ballpark. Kind of go 0-2. Big spot here for the Clovers' designated hitter, Connor Witherington. He's behind the count to the left-handed reliever, Jacob Wells. No balls, 2 strikes. And that one is up and away. Kind of go 1-2. For the Clovers, that was, again, their first base runner since that 6th inning. The 1-2. And that one is in the dirt. Really nice job there by Witherington. You could see the reaction on his face. That one came in, biting his bum like he probably really wanted to offer at that one.
Wells, though, really has kind of had a similar day to Matt Hall.
Yeah.
Come in, just got outs, threw strikes. Nothing super special about it, but did his job to a T.
Now the count 2-2. And that one is swung on, and this one's going to be popped up, and it'll be the second baseman, Honeycutt, who takes it.
The third pop out of the day for Connor Witherington, so he's just been getting jammed a little bit. I think all three have been off the handle of the bat.
Yep. So 2 away. That will bring up Thomas Watson. Provided a 3-run home run earlier tonight. That's been his lone hit of the game, but boy, what a hit it was compared to where we are right now. As that took what was a 3-2 deficit and turned it into a 5-3 lead for the Clovers.
And even though Thomas Watson's just 1 for 4 tonight, Thomas Watson, if this score holds up, is going to be remembered as the hero that won this game for the Clovers on the offensive side.
That one is swung at and missed. So Jacob Wells feeling it on the mound. He's got 2 strikeouts since coming in. That one is in there, and the count, you got to be 0-2. Jacob Wells trying to strand a runner at first after the walk to Nathanson. That one going to be fouled off. Watson stays alive. Wells. And a little bit of a battle here with Thomas Watson. Way ahead in the count, though. And that one's going to be fouled out.
Good
battling
fight.
Watson.
Not really a pitch Thomas wants to swing at, but it was close enough to the strike zone. It's a good decision to fight it off there from Watson.
Nathanson, the runner at first. As he gets into his lead, the count still remains 0-2. The pitch. That one was outside, but it was swung at and missed by Watson. So here we go. Bottom of the 9th coming up. 3 outs away. Is it a Clovers win, or do we see a rally from the Bogeys? We'll step aside as you're watching the Clayton Clovers YouTube network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Nate Johnson. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Clovers lead 9-4 here in Game 2 of this best-of-3 championship series after an 11-7 victory last night. And who but Will Leonard, the Barton Bulldog. He's going to come out for the 9th inning. And Nate, some numbers on him.
You know who you're going to get. It's Will Leonard, 28 innings pitched. He's got a 2-2 record with a save on the year. 18 hits, 12 runs, only 9 of them earned, 18 walks to 42 strikeouts with a 2.89 ERA.
He faces the 8-9-1. That one is swung on, fouled out of play by Dominic Deppa. He's 0 for 3 on the night. 2 strikeouts, a fly out to left.
And I believe Leonard faced Deppa once or twice last night. I believe he got him to strike out at least once.
Here's the 0-1. That one's fouled out. And the count 0-2.
And really, the only concern with Will Leonard, we know about his shutdown closing role and how good he's been in it, is the arm care. He's thrown about the range, that's math is hard, about 130 pitches in the last 3 outings over 4 days.
As that one is going to miss. So Depa last night had one at-bat against Will Leonard, and it was a walk in the 9th inning, according to looking at my tracking of the pitchers last night.
I was wrong.
And that one is a called strike 3 on the outer half. There's your first out of the game.
Got the outside corner, and Will Leonard, he doesn't get a ton of strikeouts looking, but he gets the first man there.
Wow.
Great breaking pitch there. Will Leonard known for the fastball, obviously, but he catches a break there with the breaking ball.
So that'll bring up Finley Spicer.
Spicer's had a very similar night to last night. Led off with a single, but hasn't done much since.
That one is swung on. Could be a tough play, and that one's going to drop. There was just a little bit of miscommunication there between McLean and Nathanson. And so it's a big hit there for Finley Spicer to put a runner on here in the bottom of the 9th.
Absolutely. You got to turn the lineup over. You got to get to your guys in the middle. 2, 3, 4, 5, Hull, Munoz, Honeycutt, and Petrie, if you want to have a hope to tie this game up.
So that'll bring up Lobo. That one is swung on, fouled out of play. Lobo singled in his last at-bat, would come around to score. He also has got a stolen base. For that, he was 0 for 3 on the night. Ground out to short, a double play started by the shortstop McLean and popped up to first in foul territory. That one is swung on. This one driven out to right, and the catch will be made by Watson. Runner has to retreat to first, and there's 2 away with Nolan Hull coming up to the plate.
Clovers are an out away from an Old North State League championship, and who else is at the plate than a guy who's just been tough to get out. We talk about Munoz, we talk about Petrie, but Hull right there with him. He's hard to get out.
So that'll bring up Hall, who singled back in the 4th. 3 times tonight he has grounded out to Lane McLean outside of that single. Here's the pitch there, strike 1.
And the Clover dugout, obviously, they feel how close they are. They're ready to erupt. They look excited already. Can't get too excited.
Can't get too excited.
Going out away.
As the count is 0-1. Here's the pitch. That's low. So the count will even up here. As Will Leonard asking his teammates, along with the umpire, to tell the guys to get back in the dugout. They can't be in the field of play. Here's the 1-1. And that one's going to miss. So the count is 2-1. Can ice run through the veins of Nolan Hull? Big spot for him. He's ahead in the count, 2-1, 2 away, a runner on. Here's the pitch. That one swung at him, missed, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning, Clovers lead 9-4.
Leonard's just a strike away. Hull's going to want a moment to reset himself here. Obviously, the fans on both sides getting a little bit riled up here. Just an out away. Just a pitch away.
The 2-2 pitch on its way. And that one is swung on. This one's hit out to center, and the catch is made! Clovers win! Will Leonard get that ring! As the Clovers are your 2024 Old North State League champions as they win 9-4. Thank you. As the asterisk has been removed from the Clovers after the championship win 2 years ago. And I think the saying goes, Clayton who? Clayton Clovers.
That's right. 3 seasons, 2 championships. Well, this one feels a little bit better. It's the Old North State League championship. 3 seasons, 3 championship appearances.
Wow.
Obviously had an asterisk on the first one. You had a loss in year 2, and now just a huge win in sweet fashion. 6-0 in the Old North State League playoffs. What a performance all year long by the Clayton Clovers.
And round after round, the Clovers, by their opposition, were doubted. It was come up multiple times. The division you play in really didn't reflect the record that you had, and these guys had to show up, and they had to show out every night. And Will Leonard running off, but the celebration on the field
Just starting here.
As what a win for the Clovers.
And it's hard to find comeback
It
stories, to find underdog stories when your team is 39-3 on the season.
Correct.
But Will Leonard is the definition of a comeback story.
Yeah.
Will Leonard started this year so tough. He had the first two – the Clayton Clovers at one point were 17-2, and both losses were Will Leonard's.
Yeah.
Will Leonard was down in the dumps. He felt like his baseball career was going to end with him basically feeling that he's been pushed out. He wasn't good enough. And he comes back with vengeance. He is given a new role. He's not starting anymore.
Yep.
He's coming out of the bullpen, and he said, I'm just going to take this and make the most of it. And he absolutely did. And he gets to hold the ball on the last out of the season in a championship performance. What a turnaround for a guy who started the year so poorly.
And so the Clovers pick up the championship. Boy, what a season it has been. It was something special. Again, as Nate said, 39-3. They finish the season as the winning streak. They had a huge winning streak this year. That was snapped, and honestly might have been one of the best things to happen at the point it did, so that the Clovers didn't go into the playoffs maybe with that winning streak, as they did face some adversity. It was a tough loss. They virtually had walked in the winning runs in that matchup against the Reedsville Luckies in that second loss of the year against them. So, boy, what a finish here, as that is going to do it for us, the Clayton Clovers, you 2024.
We better go join the celebration, Doug. They're about to be crowned champions.
So we're going to end this one here as the Clovers win 9-4.